Okay.
Yeah, I could be your cannon fodder.
Okay. We are gonna have to get some music going in the background because I know it's really quiet.
Hey,
What?
fuck up. Oh, Gracie's in the window bed. Babe?
Oh, she was watching you guys.
Yeah, she's sitting there watching us.
It's annoying.
I'm gonna close it down. This is gonna get cool in here. Hey, girl.
Oh, he's here.
Hey, Sass, join Red Team real quick, please.
Oh shit! What the hell? They put me in as a spy master.
Wow, Sass.
Two spy masters? You guys gonna talk it over?
Okay.
No.
Well,
I'll leave.
Well, yeah, but you already seen the cards.
I haven't actually looked at anything.
No Joe and Alex, huh?
Not
I
yet.
want you to help Jeremiah because he's never done this before.
Oh, okay. I didn't actually look at anything. I was.
Yeah, I trust.
Yeah, I wasn't paying. I didn't pay any attention at all. So give me a second to get the code back up.
The heck is my
I
phone?
mean, it's Sassy. You know, there's a good chance he'd forget it anyway.
Is the blue side going?
Yeah, Kel and Vody are going. So you see how Vody put in fire, and she clicked
Yeah.
torch, and there's
Yeah.
two of them, so she knows there's two.
But you don't want to click on the hand at first. You just want to click on the corner, like I did there, and
He
so
can't
that
see
way
the
you
hand
know.
yet.
Oh, okay.
No hand.
Hey, give it a second. When it's your turn, you'll see.
Yeah.
But
I'll.
don't whatever you do, don't click on the hand. Just click the card, not the hand.
Click the card, not the hand.
Oh, okay. And there's one other thing we didn't tell you. So there's some cards that are white. They don't matter. They just mean you've missed. Some cards that are orange, red. That means that you've gotten one for your team. And then some cards that are blue, which means those are for the other team. But there's also one card that is black. And if you get the black card, you lose.
Okay. So where that one of hers turned blue, does that mean she got it?
Yeah, since she's the blue team, that's her card.
You took more than one card?
So you can put your name on multiple cards because you're not submitted. You'll see when it's your turn. You'll be able to submit a card, and there's like a little hand you can click.
So if you have 4 or 5 people on the team, and you guys are all talking about what is what, you can put your name on a card to say that you think it's that, and other people can put their names on other cards or on the same card to agree.
I don't know. We'll see how the camera works. So like,
So you notice that. Go ahead, Sass.
we're gonna say the same thing, but you probably already know what you've explained. So go for it.
No, I was just gonna tell him. See how Kel hit star and it's red? So you got the point because it was actually your card that she picked.
Oh.
I don't know what you were gonna say.
No, that was what I was gonna say.
Oh, okay.
I was picking up what you were putting down.
God, that's terrifying.
Finally got that new headset that I bought up and running.
Nice. Do you like it?
He's a gamer now, guys.
It's working. It worked pretty well last night. I did it for about an hour and a half, but I'm not using it this evening. I'm on the charge, but
Let's turn him up.
bought a little stand for it and everything. Are you gonna give a clue?
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Yeah, geez, Jamie, you gonna give a clue?
Thank you, Jeremiah.
The harder
No.
position is not guessing. It's coming up with a clue that doesn't give it all away to the opponents.
So when you're a spy master, can you see what the red cards
Is that a
are?
call?
Yeah, you can
No,
see
it's
everything.
super
Oh.
cool.
You see
My
the
dumbass
cards.
couldn't remember where he put it.
I don't think I've ever played this game, like in, like an actual board game mode, I guess. That I can recall anyway. Have we played Codenames? The wife says we played Codenames, but I don't recall. That store was really neat, Jamie. You gotta take her.
Jeremiah has called the store caught on fire, and it does no longer exist.
I would tell her.
It was neat.
So Jamie burned it down.
What's that, Vody?
Jamie burned down the store.
No. That store just got shut down. So Jeremiah, you notice how Sassy's putting her name on the cards?
Okay.
She's showing you which one she's thinking it might be.
Might be food.
Yep, exactly. Okay, so I'm kind of wondering if, like, stick of gum, but there's also fork.
Alright.
I don't even know if I consider gum food, but it goes in the mouth.
Jamie's considering the bug food.
That's what I was wondering about too, was bug. You think so?
God, okay. Him being funny, maybe.
I definitely think ham is probably like 100%.
That's a guarantee.
Okay, I'll go ahead and click it. What?
I didn't see ham on the
Jamie!
Jamie,
I didn't see it on the board. Thank you
Oh my
for
god!
my name on
Sorry. My bad, I forgot you stream.
Nobody's watching right now.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Well, you don't know, Sass, but I was told when someone started streaming, make sure I don't give any of his private information away.
Hey, bud! What's fresh? Other than your new batch of Skittles, of
I
course.
can't believe you didn't see that.
I'm trying to explain how to play the game, so like I'm occupied. You know what I mean?
Blind. He means blind.
Well, I am blind, so thank you, Sass.
Good.
Actually, Sassy, you don't know this, but like, we went to that water park. Actually, I sent you that picture, right? So I
Oh, thank God we didn't do bug.
Well, shit.
Black card.
So I clicked on bug because I was thinking fire bug, like a firefly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking forest fire. And
Oh.
baby food. I was
Then
going for
you-
baby food.
Babies are not food.
And you don't.
God, I hate you.
What the hell?
By the way,
I don't even want to know.
the bug. Yeah, when you highlighted that, I went, well, damn. I should have thought of that one.
Every day in meetings, that sucks.
Reset.
Welcome to the game, Jeremiah.
Hey. I mean, I've watched you guys play this before, but I didn't quite understand.
Go ahead, Sass. You don't need to worry about it right now. Just go ahead.
Alright.
No one's watching anyway.
Yeah, no one's watching anyway. VOD, don't watch.
I'm hiding my screen.
Anyway, what I was saying earlier was I have to hold my wife's hand when we're at the pool because I can't see like where anything's at.
Because you're blind.
I'm blind as hell.
I'm surprised you
Cal,
thought
you
of
up
me.
for Spy Master?
Sure. Hang on, I'm just trying
know-
to figure out my music here.
I really
No
thought
worries.
Sheila was the one that spotted you first. I didn't realize I'm the one that spotted you, but I think it's just where you must have been like waving or something and I spotted you.
Okay, these guys are really distracting.
Because she's like telling me like I couldn't see like you were making like motions trying to communicate from up there and I couldn't see you, so I had to go her. She like translate it to me because I couldn't see what you were saying.
I didn't realize you'd found everybody else before you found me.
Yeah, no, we found everybody. We were trying
Okay.
to sneak up on you.
Didn't work because I was in the air.
Well, no, I knew you were at the slide. Like,
Oh, I've got 2 guys on my team. I can't use the word I wanted to use. I was thinking maybe, and I'm sure this is like only because I'm in the field of this. I was thinking of doing design for space, swing, and door, maybe ladder. But I've got 2 guys. Hello, Harbinger of Death. How are you?
Oh man, that night.
You're so good about popping in. Thank you so much for being here.
You know when I tried to send you that text, I was like, I'm really tired.
Let's see.
Yeah, it sucked we didn't do mini golf.
Well, how can? Oh my god, I don't know what to do. I am also okay. Tired. It's been a long week, and I didn't sleep at all last night. They're just okay for me.
We went to Jungle Gyms afterwards, and I had Haya contact her on Discord, and she gave us ideas of like what to get from like the Middle Eastern section, telling me advice what to buy.
Yeah.
I got tea and different like little snacks that she recommended.
Okay, what if I do...
What did you buy?
I actually didn't buy any, Kel. I actually contacted you and got advice. I'm sorry.
So it's
You're
gone.
the one who's missing out.
Hello, Opal.
You really, that's what Kelly. That's actually a store. Even though I agree with you, it is racist.
It's not gone.
It is a cool store.
I didn't get rid of it. It's just in a different spot. I made it more expensive.
Well, there's 2 of them. They're both in Cincinnati.
Oh, okay.
And the one.
Whoops.
in Batavia.
I forgot to do shout out Opaluso. I'm trying to think about clues. I'm
Like, alright, it's not far,
very
but,
distracted right now.
The old one is near.
Is it safe now?
the
Can I
River
fly
Plaza
you
thing.
into a
I think
truck?
it's only like 20 minutes away from the River
Yeah, that's the one. That's the
Let's
one
do
near
it.
Batavia.
Yay!
If I get the money, I would like to
Be a spy?
Kings Island Fright Fest this year with my friend Nicole. If she goes.
Okay, here's what I'm
then
thinking.
I'll hit Jungle Gyms if we're over in the area.
You have to let me know what you think.
Yeah,
Jeremiah,
I
did you ever
usually
do
don't
that?
like.
Yeah, I know. It's hard to remember the shout out.
Fright night thing.
Okay, I think this could work for backyard.
Well, I mean, but you were like into that type of stuff, so I thought maybe you would.
I think.
Wanted to go to the Winterfest.
We'll see. We'll see. We found the rebel base.
I mean, I don't like theme parks, so.
They're guys. They're guys, right? They
Well,
should
but during
get
the-
this?
During the Winterfest, they got it all done. There's like ice skating and all this stuff.
I get a little nuts. Theme park.
I didn't get rid of the sound alert, Opal. It's just in a different spot.
You know,
It's more
10
expensive.
years
That's
or
all.
so, we got,
Don't go wasting Skittles on nothing
season
else.
passes every year, and we go 5 or 10 times a year. Had a lot of fun, and I'm done.
Shit, I knew rifle was a
Maybe I'll
risk.
go to Disney or something.
I mean, she is Montana. I can
God,
see that.
he went with rifle because I'm from Montana.
Kind of have the same thing. Swing.
Scarecrow!
Actually, swings for sure, Jeremiah. I guarantee you swing. Don't you think so?
Yeah.
Alright, so think like Montana.
No, I'm thinking a regular, like, backyard. Not a Montana that doesn't mean a freaking boring backyard. Jesus.
Scarecrow.
Yes, there you
I
go.
mean, there probably
Quit
is.
getting mad.
Why do you? I just don't know.
No.
I mean, don't you think they go shooting in the backyard?
No. Not rifles!
Okay. Now I've been in Montana, but in reality, this is a southern highway. Every time
We go shoot rifles in our backyard. Need a big guy,
Kinda like shooting
big backyard.
more like, Scarecrow.
What?
We have a big backyard.
We have a big backyard, but he doesn't know that.
And it's the same thing. It doesn't have to do with Montana or Ohio or any of that. It's just anywhere where you've got a pretty
Rednecks?
broad,
Where you got rednecks at?
yeah, broad selection of rednecks. My stepfather
why are you
taught me to
thinking
shoot.
Why
at,
are you so hard on Scarecrow here? You're not moving off it.
Get off of
Why?
Scarecrow. What about a ladder?
Click off of- hold on. I didn't know you
Oh.
had.
No. I just wanted your thoughts. Damn it.
Does that mean we lose?
They got one instead, and our turn ends.
I don't know. There was 4.
I would have picked rifle too, though.
Why would you pick rifle?
Right, if I'd been on your team.
You guys!
It's probably greenhouse and scarecrow was the other 2.
I gave him the card. I gave him the word backyard.
Sassy, you actually love this. My
And I'm trying to get ladder, space, greenhouse,
my uncle's
and door.
and Bigfoot was spotted in Vinton County, like where they live.
And then went with rifle.
And so my uncle's the neighbor came, and he was driving his pickup truck. So they picked up my older brother, who was, like I said, 5-year-old, put him in the back of the pickup truck with their rifles. They went hunting for Bigfoot.
Let me go get my
Nice.
backyard rifle.
Bring him up young.
Unfortunately, they never saw him. So,
Well, it's probably a good thing since they were gonna shoot him.
well, you know, what do you expect rednecks to do? Like, of course they're going to shoot him.
I really want to give them backyard again. Because they're being really
Fine,
stupid.
because my uncles could vouch. Yeah, that's something they would do.
Jamie, you don't need to necessarily go hunting for monsters.
What, to shoot something?
When I was 12 and my stepbrothers were 12 and 15 respectively, or 11 and 15 respectively, my stepdad started teaching us how to shoot at the 1,000-yard line.
That sounds like my brother.
No
my
mo-
brother's.
No monsters required, but just one of those where you're looking at it going, okay, that's a long way.
My older brother and my older brother's like trained my niece. Like they're big hunting, big shooters,
Right.
and because I'm blind,
What?
I am horrible at that.
Shotgun. There's a gun for everybody.
There you go. Yeah, shotgun. I was
that
really
guy?
proud. I
Next
went
one.
camping with the scouts, and
Oh, wow.
That sounds back
I
to
did hit
That's really
some
cool.
Back crazy.
pigeons.
Yeah.
I was really proud of myself.
Better than me.
Just remember one of the few times I actually went hunting, I felt like an idiot because I'm out in the woods doing a little ayahuasca. Wow.
Okay, Jeremiah, so apparently Swing was not one of her original 4, so we got 4 more up there still.
It was one of my original 4.
Oh no, she just put it in. It's our turn now, just now.
She's
So
laying
maybe
down
my
some smack right there.
greenhouse, backyard door.
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking like the back door.
Well, and I was thinking like cherry tree.
What is it?
Cherry tree. I know that's a little bit of
Oh yeah.
Oh my god. Guys.
Sorry.
Do you want to click one? I'll let you click. Do you click the greenhouse? Hey, there we go. I'm gonna do cherry. I actually like cherry tree. Are you good with that?
Okay. No, no. Don't do
Okay,
it.
I would have picked that one too, so I don't know where she's going with that.
What the heck?
This is Montana. They got fucking horses all over the place.
Oh my god. I would like to switch teams.
We need to do an all-girls team.
Yeah.
I am convinced that Sassy's like, well, when I stepped outside at night, I always saw the moon. So backyard moon.
I don't know what else to do to connect these things for them. Oh, wait. What can I do for these two?
Wonder if
That
anybody
was
else.
pretty good, Kel. I like that one
Alex
a
said
lot.
she's coming.
Alex is.
Yeah, so her and Joe should both be here. I'm being serious. I'm not entirely sure what else could be in the backyard. Oh, okay. Yeah, thank you. You agree?
Yep.
Okay, but how does a moon get in the backyard?
Yeah, right.
It
That's why she
doesn't.
just walks out the door and
It
does it.
doesn't. God damn it, you guys.
Right, like if you're going into the backyard, you go through the back door, right?
Did she give us another clue?
She gave us an astronomy. That's why we just picked space and moon because I just said it. These look good to you, right?
Yeah.
So, but we still have we get one more clue, like one guess, because we still, it lets you have one more. So last time we still had that backyard. Do you think it could be door?
Maybe it's ear of corn. I mean, it is Montana.
What the fuck?
Actually, that makes a lot of sense.
Apparently, everybody in this group thinks that Montanans are growing actual crops in their backyard.
Some of us do.
Okay.
Well, if I wanted to get them to guess on crops, I would have said crops.
Camera in the corner. I love watching your face.
No, no.
I'm sure it's very amusing.
Oh yes, vastly amusing. Thank you so much, Sassy.
Jeremiah, help me out here. What are you door?
I'm looking.
Because okay, backyard ear. I don't know. Pound, no. Backyard saddle, backyard wagon, like.
How do I get them to guess saddle and not
I
wagon?
mean,
Raid.
does the backyard necessarily have to go like in conjunction with the word? Like,
Well,
can
that-
it be something just in the backyard?
Yeah, anything in the backyard. Just whatever we want to use that.
Yes, the backyard, not my fields.
What are you thinking?
I mean, like you said, it's out west. Maybe it's like wagon or saddle.
Jesus Christ.
For Sassy's backyard, she'd have a saddle and a wagon.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, I mean, I like the meme of it all, because I'd like to make it.
You asshole.
Door.
I really do think it has to be door. If it's not door, I'm gonna be pissed, but I really do think it's door.
You go with the door then.
Alright, we got it. So, now, because her first clue, the clue she gave was only 2, so we got to give 3 guesses. So now it's their turn. And it might be over.
Carnival.
Kel is on point with the clues tonight. She's killing it.
How do you know when it's over?
They only need 3 cards, so Bodhi's just got 3 guesses, and the clue she gave is worth 3.
We have 4 cards left.
We have 4 cards left. Yep.
I see it there. Oh, no.
Carnival. I mean, it could be fair too.
Ooh. God, it scared me.
I was
Okay,
thinking
Jordan,
about
we got
like
saved, we got saved.
wagons in a parade for like fairs or carnivals.
There should be still 2 more, or 2 more for backyard still.
Okay.
So if we consider that with the clue she's going to give.
Also, she gets to give.
You're
another
welcome.
clue.
Unless,
for
like, was it
taking
backyard
wagon
space?
off your back.
Right? Like, you're saying like you have a lot of space in your backyard? Is that what she was going with?
Yeah. Wow, what a
And in
shock.
which case, there's only 1 more backyard clue.
Yeah, but
Maybe
what
it's
would be
Pan.
the-
Maybe it's for, like Montana. Okay, you get a lot of rural places that could have chickens or something, and you feed them out of a pan. I'm still going with ear of corn.
What do you mean you're just messing with me right now?
Abso-freaking-lutely. You've got this whole desire.
I still want to, like, you know me well enough to know that I'm like, I want to click ear
You
just for
want
the...
to meme on Sassy, so hey, let's do
Yeah,
that.
I would love to, but I don't... Also, no, we're not doing it.
Kel, I just sent you a message on Discord. Okay, here's what I'm
Oh, you
thinking.
just seen that message? Cody?
Yeah, I just saw it.
Jeremiah, whenever you were like, I think it was with Sass whenever I was picking, and you were like, it could be bug, because Jamie wants bug, would eat bugs. I was like, I'll kill him if he clicks bug. Okay, it's definitely those two, right?
Yeah.
You agree?
Yep.
I don't know what the third one would be for horse race. Do you know anything about horse races?
They run around a track. Bet on it.
Yeah, you can bet on them. I get that.
Horses
Thank
have
you, Jeremiah.
ears. Horses have ears.
Vaughn, shut up.
There's no cross, like, right? Like, they don't, like, I guess they cross the finish line?
Yeah, but I think that's a little bit of a stretch.
I know, I think it's a stretch too, but I think this last one might be a stretch. So they cross the finish line. What else is there? They pound as they're, like, going across. Like, right? They're dirt. They pound the dirt.
Okay, this one's actually kind of honest. Horses have a crap ton of grace. I love watching horses run.
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
It's a common name too, I think horses are often named Grace.
The horses in horse race. Okay, I shouldn't be helping you, but the horses in horse races, no.
You're not helping.
They have
You're not helping.
crazy names. It's not Grace. It's, Altamonto's fourth Grace of the third.
Okay,
blah,
but
blah,
Grace is.
blah.
I feel like Grace would be in their name though. You know what I mean? That's why I like.
It could be. Yeah.
I thought when you said grace, you were meaning that they were graceful.
That's,
they
yeah,
are.
that's
No,
what
no,
that's
they
what
are.
horses.
They're
Yeah,
amazingly graceful. I love to watch.
and that's why they would use it in their name too. Graceful Seabiscuit, that type of shit. Help me out here, partner. What do you think?
My horse is named after a beer, so I guess I'm not that graceful. She was.
What do you think? So the clues are horse race and backyard. Here's the words.
I love it. Let's throw Kara under the bus. I love it.
You can see which one he picked there.
Come on.
Somebody joked on there on the ear
Oh my god.
about corn. Ears of corn.
Ooh, and horses eat corn too.
If I wanted you to go for corn, I would have
How about
said
you after
corn.
this, Jamie's gonna click ear just because he can't resist.
It's hard. I really want to now, so bad.
Vaughn, I'm gonna kill you.
Do it.
What is she saying, Jeremiah?
Be on there.
What
It
does
has
Kara
to be
say?
one of these words. One of these words that match with the clue of either horse race or backyard.
Jeremiah's going for a.
He's getting, like a good
External
married man that he
assistance.
is. And you understand this, Fody. You always ask the wife.
Oh yeah.
Then why aren't you asking Tabby, Whiter?
She's asleep.
Oh, okay.
And like a good married man will tell you, you don't wake up grumpy.
You don't wake up
Yeah.
the wife, especially not for a game. You should be looking.
Don't
What the
wake
hell's
the
the matter
bear.
with you?
Got it.
Have you ever heard that, Kel? Like, I woke up grumpy this
Jamie
morning.
thinks cross. Why do you think
Yeah.
cross?
Next time I'm gonna let her sleep.
Hey, why did you think cross?
Because I gotta cross the finish line.
There's a cross the finish line, and is there a cross in the backyard?
In Montana, probably. It's probably not catching on fire. She flipped the camera off, I bet, right there.
No.
Shouldn't need to. The
There'll
look
be a
was
word
more
on
than
it.
enough, right there. I gotta tell you, having no sound, it's just better than if I was listening. Thank you so much, guys.
All right, Jeremiah, this is taking way too long.
I don't know. Take something.
We're going. Damn it!
Ear! They went with ear!
Yes, Wraith would be so proud.
Go for shoots and ladders.
Okay.
You're thinking shoots and ladders. You're thinking shoots and ladders. Please think shoots and ladders.
Don't help him.
Actually, I am thinking shoots and ladders. I'm not gonna go shoots and ladders, Sassy. Largely because I think that ladder was in the backyard.
Yeah. That makes way too much sense.
Sheds and
Where do sheds go?
Backyards. Ladders go in backyards. I have one in my backyard. Right behind my shed.
no. Let the sheds.
Kel, you are amazing. That was
Those were
awesome.
great clues, Cal.
So, your clues were spot on.
Thanks. I can join the Spy Master again, and this time Sassy can come over here. We can do girls versus guys.
Aw, yeah.
You're mean to me.
Me and Jeremiah got this. You got Sassy. Get over there.
How do I have to leave the room, huh?
No. You can click your name and switch.
Oh, thank God. Yay.
I'm staying here.
Good luck, you two. Wiser and Jeremiah.
No. We got chemistry. All right. We got chemistry.
Is that what you
First
call
clue
it?
is
Okay.
chemistry for 3. I'm gonna laugh.
So how do we know who goes first?
Dude,
I go
Does it
first.
say?
Um,
Yeah, they're first.
It says it at the top of your screen.
No.
Either give your
No.
operatives a clue, or it
What?
says wait for opponent.
We had this one class together. I think it was like CSI. It was like all about like the science and like CSI or whatever. And
It was a
our
science
teacher,
class, wasn't it?
yeah, it was Liston. He was going over like the importance of taking notes for this class, and he told us
My kitty's all curled up on the couch.
He was telling us like, you know, highlight the parts that you think are important, or whatever, because he's really anal about this stuff. And I'm a lazy as hell, so I just highlighted whatever Jeremiah highlighted because I just didn't care. And the guy caught us, and I was like, well, you know, Jeremiah and I are so alike that I highlight the same thing he lights because we both see those same things. And so he told us to, you know, split up, so we had to sit in different parts of the room. So I told Jeremiah to highlight the first 2 sentences of every paragraph. And so we turned it in, and he's like, no. He's like, I see what you guys did there. No, that won't work. And I'm like, what do you mean? It's like you highlighted it's important to crawl on the floor when there's smoke. Like, why would you highlight that? Well, that's important. He's like, no, you knew that. You were trying to play me, whatever. He goes on like this big speech about why we should know that smoke rises and you should be on the floor. And I remember saying to him, like, oh, see, it's a good thing I highlighted it. And his face, he got so mad.
Jeez.
Did he dress up? He dressed up as him.
I dressed
So,
up as him,
like,
yeah. For
Spirit Week or something.
Spirit Week, yep.
Well, shoot.
Yeah, I'm thinking computer and server for sure, based on Dell computers.
You don't think Apple more than server?
I actually work on Dell servers.
Oh, alright, fine. Yeah, okay. I bow to the master.
Yeah, Apple is a computer. I mean, actually, there are some Dell components that Apple used to source, but they don't anymore. Yes, I'm that big a geek. But I would start with computer and then server.
Okay.
Could be wrong.
Well, we're not gonna know till we try it. Definitely computer, though.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead and click them. There you go.
Are you trying to... Are you setting me up?
I would never.
Uh-huh.
See?
He's not wired.
Look.
Hey,
Now, okay, we've also got driver.
Snuggle my leg.
here.
Aw.
This is one of those things because you often have to go to Dell computer to get drivers. So driver, root, file,
Driver.
Apple. I mean, yeah, these right here.
I hardly knew her.
Okay.
And also because
Oh, Jesus.
laptops have fans. Yeah.
Okay. How into computers is Cal?
See, I don't know.
I live with Ace.
thinking that too. Okay, so
You want to go apple? That was the first one that we rolled with.
it was, and I feel like with all the other options we have, it's too many that can relate to it. So I think
The other option is to just in guessing.
that's true. How good do we really think Wider and Jeremiah are?
I think we're safe to in guessing.
Yes.
You need to keep on going, because obviously. Alright, Jeremiah, time to show.
If you have any questions, you can always message Cal too, because she's seeing the same thing you are.
Yeah, message
Does
Kel.
the clue have to be just one word, or can it be more than one word?
It can be more than one word if it's a proper noun.
Yeah, and we tend to fudge it a little bit here and there. We're not too big a stickler, but generally proper noun. You know, like if you're gonna say Bucky
Wow.
McDonald's, right? 2 words, but it's a proper noun. But you wouldn't turn around and say big old castle made of stone in London.
I will say we have an advantage here because we grew up in the same high school. Like we got the inside scoop here. Neither of us
Alex
have been to
isn't here
France.
yet, so I have to step in for. Yeah, but you're also at a disadvantage because.
What?
Throw
shit at me?
You know it, man. I have to pick. I have to. I'm sorry.
After all the old man jokes I make, yeah, it's fair.
Yes. Oh God.
It's like I told Jeremiah when he first came in. There's nothing but respect for me in this lobby. Like in real life, everyone just admires and respects me.
There we go.
Look, and the first thing that pops into my head is the movie with Robin Williams.
Yes.
Such a good movie.
That's amazing.
Dustin Hoffman.
Yep.
And
He's still in third,
Maggie
and he pulls a
Smith.
pistol and shoots him.
And Bob Hoskins. Yeah, such good actors, such good everything about it.
My favorite Peter Pan story.
Robin Williams is like one of those guys, though. I don't know if he can be in a bad movie.
Everything I saw him in, I loved, but at the same time, when he decided to play a bad guy, oh my lord, was he creepy!
See,
I
I love Robin Williams, man.
I remember 1 hour photo. I can't remember if that was actually good or not.
Are you still there?
Yeah, what's up?
Do you have to give a clue that hits more than one? I know that's the goal to try to get as many cards.
No, if you can only do one, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, you can do just one.
Okay. Let's do one at a time. Until I can look at it here.
Oh, and I know sometimes like you have to wait for certain words to get eliminated. It's okay.
1 hour photo was pretty good. Final cut was scary.
I don't think I ever saw that.
What was the movie? So I was telling Tabby about this. There was a Robin Williams movie about like he's a robot and he falls in love with his owner. You guys ever see that?
Oh, I saw that on TikTok the other day.
What was that
Bicentennial
movie?
Man?
Yeah, Bicentennial Man.
I was gonna, yeah.
Bicentennial.
There you go.
Okay, hold on. I need to write that down.
Yeah, I need to watch that. It looked like it was good.
He was such a good actor, but like I said, when he decided to play a bad guy, way creepy.
Oh, I'm so glad. Okay.
Oh, Sam Neill was in that. I didn't know that. The guy
Okay,
from,
I'm gonna assume
Jurassic
that
Park.
Dell was not Apple.
Yeah. There's that chemistry at work there.
Thank you, Sassy.
ocean. Lake could be frog and quack because of duck.
See, Jeremiah, you could have put merry-go-round for this one, and I would have got it.
I don't see any like famous lake names or anything.
Well, I happen to know a Queen Lake, but Kel wouldn't know that I mean, unless she's been to.
Now, Vody, to be fair, Kel did live in Texas for a while.
This was in Canada.
Oh, never mind.
I was gonna say unless she's been to backcountry nowhere, Canada. Bear Lake, but there's like 4 of those that I know of. You know, I'm gonna stick with these.
I think these are our strongest, yeah.
Yeah. I will click this time.
Okay, thank you. Oh, look what you did!
I did, and I own it. I did it on purpose. It was all me.
So we have a dell and we have a lake left.
Yeah, we have a dell and we have a lake left. I mean, dell could be a couple of different options on the board.
Yep.
Lake, though, I'm kind of going, huh.
What if it's wedding? I feel like maybe wedding.
Man, I want to go back on vacation.
You just got home.
I know, but it was too short.
For
and-
lake or dell?
What? I mean, you know what? I'll go anywhere, Vody. I just want to be back on vacation. I enjoyed that too much. It was just nice to get away.
Talking to Sassy. She wondered if it was wedding.
Oh, for lake.
Oh, okay.
Like a lake wedding.
I didn't realize it was my turn again. I'm sorry.
Whiter could use the time to marshal his last remaining brain cells. It's fine.
You know the bookstore, Jeremiah, at Pullman Square, like the one beside the theater.
Yeah. Yeah, we went to that.
Yeah, you've been there many times. So like.
Are there sandbars in lakes?
And so when we walked in today, they.
I mean, that's not just an ocean thing, right?
It's like the King Kong
I
Godzilla
read it.
shirt. Yeah, you read it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I read it. Yeah,
So annoying.
I read through. It was about the Godzilla
Yes.
King Kong.
Yeah, it's actually more in lakes and rivers, and then at the point where the river comes out into the ocean or very close to the beach in the ocean.
Right. We'll keep it in our back pocket.
At least it worked out.
Pirate. Arr.
Pirate. By hook or by crook.
Pistol?
Go ahead and click hook. You can have it this time.
Apparently, you guys
Yay!
remember the French pirate Pepe.
Pistol, I mean pirates. Pistols, swords.
Yeah.
Steel,
I'm.
I mean, octopus because of the ocean, and if you watched
Yeah.
Pirates of the Caribbean, you got to see the crack and you eat the black pearl.
This is true, but I would argue that there were more pistols in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Which is fair. Alright, go for
There-
it. I clicked mine too. It's your turn to click your turn.
Oh, jeez. Yay!
See? Look, I
Okay.
did so well.
Alright, that's enough of that. Okay,
Do we want to guess for anything else?
so we still have a lot of options for Dell. We discussed.
File, root, fan, driver.
Yeah, we have all of those still.
I mean, okay, root's gonna be. I'm gonna get really technical. Root's gonna be a Linux option or a Unix option. You're not gonna run into that very often on Dell boxes because primarily they are run Windows. You can get Linux distributions for them.
Okay.
So I'm gonna skip root and go file, fan, driver.
Okay.
Fan, pretty common if you're thinking Dell laptops. File's more about the operating system. Driver's more about the machine. So I may be going way far afield here, but I'm thinking it's one of those two.
Okay. Out of these two. Oh god. I think I like fan better.
Me too.
Okay.
The question is, do we risk it?
There's no biscuits here, so I don't know if it's worth it.
I just text Jay, and Biscuit said go fan.
Awfully fast reactions.
We never that close, you know.
Poor Jay.
Yeah, so this is, I mean, I can get out the quarter.
You know, we haven't let the quarter decide anything in quite a while.
Alright, heads we click fan, tails we don't. Alright, click fan.
What, me? It's your quarter.
It's stereo clicky turn. I click
Mm, okay, not as bad as it could have been.
yeah, white is good. White is okay.
Yep, white's fine.
White is fine. He's a good guy.
Not whiter. White. Where are the cats at?
Alright, buddy. You can give me 2 this time. Give me 2.
Oh. I don't know what the second one is. Maybe? Like a weight cap? Unless this is one of those chemistry things.
Shoot. Alright, we got 1, Jeremiah. So there's 1 more heavy out there.
Well, I have no idea how to link these last.
I
And
was
then, of
thinking,
course,
like,
there'll be the black card, and you're like, how do I link these without referencing that?
I was thinking like heavy, like the cap, like the you know, like the plane or something. What else could it be?
Howdy. Howdy do. How is Divinity Original Sin treating you this fine evening? Excellent. Good to hear. Good to hear. Oh, wow. I didn't even know you could do co-op on that.
France?
What the fuck does he think of?
Definitely France.
Yeah, we're sure?
Okay. Do we try for another Dell?
At this point in time, I don't know.
We could probably just wait if you wanted.
Yeah, I'm away.
Okay, I think that's safer. Codenames is fine. You know, small group tonight. We were gonna do guys versus girls, but Vod wanted to be on our team.
I don't know what the other heavy could be.
Up to 4 player. Oh. I actually haven't looked into Divinity too much. I just didn't think it was. What little I knew of it, I didn't think it was.
I
VOD
never
was
did.
smart.
He's like, are we not playing on Xbox?
You don't call it a heavy.
I can't even play it on Xbox, dude.
Heavy Queen.
I don't have an Xbox 5 or the fucking new one or whatever the fuck it is.
Octopus.
Yeah, he has 2 of those. If he wants you to play with him, he should give you one.
Hey, there we go.
Co-op roleplay storytelling RPG goodness. Oh, that actually sounds like something I might enjoy. I'm glad we didn't go for bar. I'm actually wondering if cap was for lake. Like, the polar ice caps affecting lake levels? I don't know. It's a stretch. It's a stretch. Alright, now I'm gonna look up Divinity Original Sin, because apparently it's amazing.
The fuck am I not connected?
I like how the only word that Jeremiah know to use for France was French fries. Like, there's no other French word. You should put Spanish. You know it?
Uh-huh.
If you'd put Spanish, I would have got French
Oh
also.
yeah, that would have
You should have done
been
Spanish.
possibly a little proud.
So I never know what it means when it says it's turn-based. It's another isometric. Oh, that's probably why I never looked at it too closely.
Do you know anything else like French, Jeremiah? Like bidet?
Oh, it's like a toilet.
Yeah, remember I used to say that about your toilet because they had the buttons.
Yeah, so that Dell was probably right for driver.
Right.
Rust on the brakes?
Like an old coach as a vehicle?
Okay. We're down to 1. Okay.
I'll-
Root tip, crab, fiddle, queen. Nope. Okay, file, rust, and coach.
Oh,
You get rust on your brakes, they squeak, you file it off. Coaches also have brakes, the old.
Right.
Hmm.
God damn.
You could break at a wedding.
It's a different kind of break.
Wrong brake.
But yeah, but no, like, you know, she's trying to squeeze, you know.
No, definitely
force it.
yeah, but no.
Okay, but here's what I'm worried about. She said she couldn't think of how to connect the last 3. And it was check, driver, and something else. You'd think if it was driver and coach, this almost seems too easy, I guess.
I am the torn.
And we have to guess here because they might get 2.
I think we both lean towards coach, and I'm the only one thinking file and rust.
I
So-
don't know that Kel has a car.
Or if Kel is much in the way of into cars,
Right. If she's, you know, taking care of her own brakes.
then I'm gonna click coach.
Alright.
Brace, brace, brace.
Ah,
Oh well,
could be worse.
could be worse.
Maybe we're totally wrong about Kel's car carrying capabilities.
Yeah, cat.
Or maybe it was wedding.
Like I said, it was a stretch.
Well, I was thinking maybe waiting for Lake too, so I don't know.
Oh, I misspelled that.
Wait, how are you gonna spell it?
Huh?
You said you misspelled it. Does that matter?
Yeah,
How are you gonna spell it?
it should be claws, not cross.
Oh.
I had to verify my age to look at the Divinity website. Making me feel old.
I don't.
Gotta
know.
scroll down to get to it.
Like, octopus does not have a claw.
Oh,
Root claw. Rust claw.
can you hear me?
Claws. Wedding claws. Wedding claws. Tip claws. Fiddle claws.
Okay. They let me into the website.
Up here, Jeremiah. I have no idea.
The fools.
Hmm. I have to guess, but I don't. I mean, I have no idea.
Okay, so when it says turn-based combat, is that like V Rising? Is that turn-based combat, or like can I have an example? Because the turn-based always throws me off. I always feel like it's like one of those card games or something instead.
So I was thinking breaks in music.
Oh my god! Crap! I'm sorry, I should have known that.
That's okay.
Oh, okay.
That's real time.
I
Okay.
tried, man. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I shouldn't have put 2. I should have did 2 earlier when I did claws for I overlooked crab and bear.
Oh yeah,
So-
yeah.
And then I did claws again for crab, and I was thinking tip, like the tip of the claws.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I
It
get
was
it.
a stretch.
Each one goes one at a time. Okay, so like
I'm
raid.
happy with it. Well done, Kel. You did the best you could with a hard draw.
Oh yeah, that was awful. That was an awful draw.
And Jeremiah, you actually did really well for your first time out of the gate. I mean,
Oh yeah.
you didn't even make him pick the black card.
Yeah.
I'm actually
That's
surprised Sassy did it like that, and not like. And you had Jamie on your team. Like that's what I was expecting.
Everyone knows that they have
Well,
that.
that too.
I guess I'll go if you guys.
Sure,
Sass
I can
versus
go
Jamie,
again.
let's go.
Oh, yep, I'm down for that.
Okay, I'm blue team
Fuck.
now, not red.
That litter box stinks.
Hmm. Oof. Ah, that sucks. I can't do costume for Halloween and Turtle because Viking and Penguin are on the board, as is Jockey. Okay, I'm blue, not red. Okay. I'm seeing a few we could use here.
Hello?
Oh,
Hello?
fuck! Oh my god! I have so many sports ones, and I can't use sports because helmet is the black card! Ah!
Oh. Can you hear me? My fucking laptop is muting my mic by default. I don't know.
Oh my god,
It's like, what
this
the
sucks.
fuck?
Not looking forward to going back to work next week.
Sorry. It links through Origin. I don't know why it's.
I don't know where to go from here.
Well, the second time I started this game today, it just sat in the
Back to work? Why not?
Yeah,
intro.
been on vacation this week.
Oh, I've been out of work for a year, so I'm pretty happy about going back to work. But I totally get that about not wanting to go back because you've been on vacation.
Yeah. At least I'll get a long weekend next week because of the holiday.
Nice. What holiday is it?
4th of July.
Oh my gosh, Kel.
What? Oh, 4th of July. Duh. I don't look at a calendar on the regular.
Actually, I'm right there with her because, I mean, ever since the pandemic, days just blur together. I look up and go, what do you mean it's June?
Exactly.
So they do go by quicker.
Oh my god.
I'm wondering who's going to get all the sports tips, which one, or if they don't, if they aren't going to match up, and it's going to be split across both of them.
Oh.
Vody, do you like watch sports by any chance?
I'm not interested really in sports on TV. Instead, it's all about, I like to go and watch sports.
I actually get that. I feel about the same way, except for football. I like to watch football, but everything else I like to watch live.
I love to be in the stadium. I love to be cheering. I mean, even if I don't care who wins or loses, right? I want to feel that energy. It's like when you're watching a baseball game and somebody smacks it and you can hear when the bat hits the ball, you just know that's going out of the freaking park, and it's just awesome.
Sass and I both noticed all the sport ones too, and I said I don't think any of them actually watch any sports, so I don't know how useful it's going to be.
Well, you know, I've played them. Football, soccer, baseball.
It is a lot of fun watching Mikhail's soccer games.
Yeah, that's a good one, Kel. Like that one. And that one. I'd call that, yeah, right off the bat. Cheers.
Yeah. Want to go ahead and end guessing then? Okay, cool.
Yeah. We've got no other tips.
I like watching baseball on TV and soccer too. I was watching the Reds game last night. I didn't get to see the end result, but the Reds weren't doing so hot. I think they were going against Los Angeles. I forget what their team is. Los Angeles. And yeah, the Reds weren't doing so good.
I like to go to the baseball park.
The Reds have not been doing so good. That's the understatement of the year, Kel.
But you go to the park and it's like you sit there, and I actually like to sit up in the stands on the second level, get the best view of everything, get a foot-long chili cheese dog, drink, and just, you know, cheer every hit. I was there when Mark McGuire hit, what was it, 73? I don't remember how many he hit, but I was there when he hit the one that broke the record. Right, it was fantastic.
What I want to see is the Reds versus the Astros, since I've been equally from Ohio and Texas. So I would be okay with either team winning. So.
Okay.
The Astros is Houston, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I have to support the Reds because my family has always supported the Reds for generations. So even if they always lose, I'm still going to support them.
I took my mom to her first Reds game last year.
Nice. I went when I was about 7, and I was wearing shorts in the middle of like July in the sun. I do not recommend. Do not recommend.
Kel, if you want to go recently, like Friday, like they do like a Friday evening game, the fireworks alone are worth the admission.
Oh yeah.
Tonight's dinner was bacon, by the way. I made lots of good food, and then I made like a whole package of bacon. That was basically what I ate, was bacon.
As long as your heart is okay with it.
I I don't usually. I don't tend to go that
Alright.
so with it. I'm usually much more healthy, but it's been a while since I just had kind of a bacon binge. And I was just
What?
every bite was. You need more.
Yeah. Hopefully, I'm not ruining Michelle's stream.
Oh no, I think rubber and turtle. Yeah, I think rubber and turtle.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, those are pretty good. Okay, I'll hand it then, not the rest. Those are good calls. Nice.
Come on.
Is it sad that the first thing I looked was like, did I miss it where it said red?
You guys are
I'm
terrible.
not loading it. Dude.
You think we have a lot of weird stuff in our backyards over here too.
I grew up in Texas.
mean,
You
we're
know, I
not in the
can't really
backyard.
poke fun.
I don't consider the place where I grew up crops to be my backyard.
Okay, when I was in Utah with my dad, we lived on 10 acres and we had crops right out the back door.
What the hell?
Hmm.
And again,
Yeah,
down
that's
here in
where we put our
Texas,
crops in Texas.
Yeah.
Is out
We would,
back.
we would
So
roll
it's
out
a
the back,
Texas thing.
I guess. Oh, we also had, a mile-long shooting range.
Yeah.
I'm like
That's
smack.
also where you keep your chickens. Is
Yeah,
outside in the
okay.
back. That's an Ohio
Yeah.
thing too.
Well, yeah, my parents had their chickens out back.
Yeah.
What's kind of funny?
I was gonna say it's kind of funny that we were talking about that because on my team we have 11 people, and I know four of the people on the team, keep chickens in their backyard. So I'm sitting there going, well, it's actually kind of common.
Yeah.
I mean, it is pretty common. Maybe it is a Texas thing.
Yeah, I got such
I have
bad ping
friends
right
here in
now.
Ohio that have chickens too.
Well,
so-
yeah, actually, when I lived in California, one of the things I used to have to do, get up every day to do, was when I was staying with my grandmother. was
Don't
go
give a
outside.
fuck. Get off my goddamn screen.
It didn't bug me though. She was always good about the breakfast foods. Whoever got done with their chores first got the biggest selection.
That's cute.
Trying to get to this.
My dog one time, Black Lab German Shepherd mix. Our neighbor, like catty corner from us, had chickens, and I guess our dog had like jumped the fence or multiple fences to get in their yard. And next thing I know, I let the dog back in from the backyard, and he brought a chicken in the house.
Oh.
And it was not alive by the time my dog got done with it.
Oh,
But yeah, but he brought this like half beheaded chicken in the house, and I'm like,
Oops.
where did you get that? He must have had to jump over 2 fences and then jump back to bring his spoils in the house. And he was only outside for like 15 minutes. I don't know how he did this.
so match point is tennis, right? So that one makes a lot of sense to me. And spike makes a lot of sense because, of course, it is 8 points.
Turn my graphics down to medium,
Yeah.
see if that helps a little.
Earthquake.
The ping is
have
still outrageously high though.
They do. And then, of course, helmet, you can have a point on top of it. On the other hand, I think I'm going to go with match and spike are the ones that I think most likely.
Okay, let's go with it.
Whew.
And I think, we don't really
I haven't
have
seen a
any
single
otherwise
bag
we
except
have
that first.
spot on. So I guess in guessing.
Yeah, that works for me.
I think we're doing pretty good.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god. How do I get the last ones?
Although Jeremiah and Jamie, you're doing pretty good too. We're neck and neck. I just noticed.
Okay.
Okay.
My goal would be next back.
Who is someone you would dress up as for Halloween that's gold themed? Okay. Maybe Cleopatra.
Oh, there's a tank.
Gold.
Yeah, but no.
Pirate? Viking might get. You might get Viking with pirate. Gold.
Oh, he did.
Oh my god.
Anybody see Free Guy?
I liked it. It was good.
Yeah, I liked it too.
Yeah, I thought it was okay.
I was
too.
looking for like light-hearted fun. Funny thing is, I either want to go horror, something like The Woman in Black, which I love that movie, or something real light-hearted. Free Guy seemed like it hit the bill. Has anybody seen The Woman in Black?
No, but I've always wanted to.
Watch it. It's so worth it. Daniel Radcliffe does an amazing job. Everybody else does too, but it was really good.
What? Oh, sorry.
What's the one?
How do I
with
get out of
Daniel
this thing?
Radcliffe And he ends up finding this
Okay.
like dead body in the woods. And he's like a soldier or something, and it's like his friend or found body or something. And the body comes to life, and he has to like.
Swiss Army Man?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see that, but it looked so funny.
Yeah, I want to see that.
What?
I have it online.
I've
Oh god.
It's a good watch, right? Like 4 out of 5 stars.
Where's her teammate at? Oh, is he underneath
Not,
them?
you know, change your life kind of thing, but good job by everybody involved.
That's how most movies are nowadays. Some of them aren't worth the watch. but-
Actually, I've been watching so many movies that have come out since 2019. that
What?
suck.
I was around it was around a corner, dude. Like, what the f-
Okay. Any this movie in the last 4 years.
I didn't
Yeah, let's
know
get it out
he
of
did
here.
any movies in the last 4 years.
He's made a lot of movies. Now part of that
Mm.
is he's been diagnosed with a pretty
What has he
severe
been in? I've not even paid attention.
disease. Go look for Bruce Willis filmography. They're literally the ultimate forgettable sci-fi crap movies. But he's been diagnosed with a pretty severe disease. I don't remember the name of it, but one of the symptoms is aphasia. So he's having trouble with his lines and everything else. So he's basically doing everything that comes his way, making as much money as possible so that he can turn around and retire. Which is sad because I've always liked it, but no.
But yeah, sci-fi has definitely gone down.
Yeah, just into the shitter.
recently. Yeah.
I was literally watching
Don't-
that roof.
if you
There's
have
no one up
not
there.
ever watched,
Holy shit, there's a ton of guys.
what was it, Chaos Rising?
Oh, that one with Daisy Ridley and
Yeah.
That was-
Tom, what's his
It's
face?
the same guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Watch
sucked.
Daisy Ridley.
I like Daisy Ridley.
Yeah, she's not bad.
I
Really?
liked her in Murder on the Orient.
Yes, that one was good.
I haven't seen that one yet, admittedly.
Yeah, that was her actual very first movie.
Oh, no
You know,
way.
the very
I just got
first
sniped.
movie she filmed. She's on
Pretty
set
smoked, dude.
with Willem Dafoe,
Yeah.
Judi Dench, hang on. Basically everybody in the cast, all these big name actors, and it's her first scene in a Hollywood movie ever. It's like,
That's cool.
wow. She said later on in an interview, she's like, I was shaking so bad, I thought they were going to see it everywhere and that the whole train was going to run.
I'm dead. when this amount of craziness happens, my computer just, I'm like doing every other frame.
I hear her name and all I can
Slow
think of
motion.
is the Star Wars sequels. So
I didn't think she did a bad job. I just thought that.
I thought-
she
Yeah,
wasn't
I, mean,
allowed-
Yeah.
I had no issues with her. It wasn't her that she was not the problem for me.
yeah, she wasn't the problem. The writing was.
Yeah, I mean, and I actually enjoyed the movies and would have loved them if they were anything but Star Wars.
They would have
Um,
been good movies if they had a coherent
I
plot.
don't know.
and
I can't stand the idea that you had to play Fortnite to get there. Like,
Actually, there's one scene in all three. There's out of all three that Adam Driver had that I crowed laughing. It was so awesome because
Dude, I can't aim when someone's shooting at me.
He comes running around the
Like I
corner,
literally can't even move.
two people coming after him. He whips a gun out and shoots both of them as he's running away without even looking. And I was like, yes, that's Han Solo's kid right there. I could believe it right there. For that few seconds, I could believe it.
I just couldn't believe he was a 28-year-old having a temper tantrum. Like, I know he's supposed to be dark side and stuff, but he acted like he was like 16.
He was pretty
He's
laughable.
supposed to be like almost
No,
30.
he did. There was a big piece of that where he was.
Oh my god.
The dark
I can't even
side
do
was about
Masquerade
control.
because they might go
So
helmet.
that whole piece of that I didn't understand. Right? And
Exactly. Now they got it going on in the Kenobi series too. No offense, Wider. But I can't stand Reva. I cannot stand Reva.
I wait.
Oh, no, yeah,
I haven't
nobody-
seen it. I haven't seen it. Not any of it.
Kel. Okay, to be fair, I just
Whatever.
And I'm not. I don't want to spoil anything because Bodhi hasn't seen it. But yeah, it's.
All right.
Honestly,
Nope.
I just don't think it's that big of a. Because everything else is so amazing, I don't even notice her.
She's like half of the movie though.
No. Come
Yeah.
on. No.
I'm gonna derail us actually
They've been
because I wanna
promoting
ask
and
you guys.
promoting her and been like, if you don't like her, you're a racist. And
Oh boy.
yeah.
What? I've never seen anything like. Wait,
Yeah.
I've definitely seen that.
Twitter and-
Yeah.
and,
I
like,
never. Apparently, I don't
Disney
look into this stuff.
Disney themselves have been like, if you don't like her, you're racist. And they've just been shoving her. And now apparently she's gonna get her own spin-off series. And I'm just like, how?
The ping is
She's
240.
the most like
Uh,
2D character ever. Like she wasn't even a
that was
2D
what-
character. She was
That
a
was kind of
straight
what I
flat
thought about
line.
Adam Driver, by the way,
Yeah,
when he
yeah.
played Kylo Ren, because you've got Adam Driver who can react, and he's this.
I hate it when people spray bullets from AK-24 from halfway across the map and
That's
snipe you. It's
exactly
like,
what Reva is.
yeah.
Exactly
It's like,
what
what the
Reva is.
fuck?
But just a female version of that.
Random question: what did you guys think of the boys?
I couldn't get through season 1. It was just too
Dude, I literally
don't
spawned
like,
and died.
what I
What
call
the fuck?
lead shows
Yeah.
where you have to be like
I spawned, and as soon as
or to have that
my camera got down,
and
I
I
died.
just don't have
I
that.
think I was already dead.
So I don't watch Family Guy, any of the like American Dad. I couldn't do it with the boys. I tried. I got halfway through the season and was just like,
I'm just starting, and I'm hoping that I'll like it.
Yep.
If you liked Invincible, you might like the boys. So now I'm trying them both. I loved Invincible. I mean, I watched all the way through that. And I don't see anything else that would be Cleopatra.
same. I was thinking maybe Viking, but that's
Holy
not
shit.
Cleopatra.
I keep going back to helmet for every round, but it's like I was like, that headdress they always picture in, that thing had to be really solid. But I don't think that would be where Sassy would go. And Cleopatra does work for Halloween. You get a lot of that, and then gold.
Yeah, I like it. You want me to flip over one?
That's the one you flip the other. Yeah. Okay.
wow.
We've got no other tips. I don't know where.
I didn't think you guys would get that.
Where we would guess. So yeah, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Okay.
Shit.
I got 1 kill! Woo!
Has anybody else seen Invincible?
No.
worth watching. A little bloody. A little bloody. A
I
lot
watched the
bloody.
I don't know. I couldn't get into it, Cody.
The hell was that?
I adored it, but I adore the actors behind the characters too.
Miss
Oh.
Marvel, Star Wars, and Orville. That's kind of like the 3 shows I've been watching.
Oh.
How is Miss Marvel? Because I've heard bad things about that.
Kelly, you got like negative people in your life, man. I love these things.
Orville's
Oh,
supposed to be
like-
incredible, but I'm saving it for a binge.
I didn't really like Orville.
I've heard great things about the Orville. The MCU's turned into the MCU, and I just.
Another kill!
Yeah, I get that.
Like Black Widow was fantastic. I don't know why they had to go and kill her off and then make her like a half-assed movie that was like an afterthought, and then not even pay her
Everybody
properly
hated
for it.
that.
What?
Yeah! I got 3 kills, dude. Yes!
Yeah. And they were like, "Here, see, we gave you a movie," and it's like barely.
7
And
kills
then
on a sit.
now all of their
buzz.
like Disney Plus shows have been like Disney Channel movies, but Marvelized.
Yes, actually, I think they were.
Yeah, I actually didn't like it.
I gotta go grab something to drink real quick.
Okay.
Nice!
What about
Not doing too bad, dude. It's a little glitchy, but it's
Oh, I
playable.
love that one.
I haven't seen that one.
Someday I'll get a beefier machine or a
I
Xbox.
watched the first one, realized I was not going to be able to stop, and went, nope, wait.
It's the most Trek I've seen the new Trek be in years.
You are short a drink.
I am short of
I
drink.
like the people who hated the last new Star Trek, and because they said it was too much like an episode. And I was like, that's why I loved it. It was a freaking episode. To me, it was fantastic.
I liked the new ones.
I didn't like Discovery. It was too like not like old Trek for me. And then Picard just went off the rails in season 2.
Yeah, I haven't seen Picard.
Wait for it. Like, you think there's canon, then you get into season 2, and they're like, what canon? And they just throw all of the past 50 years out the window.
Kel feels very strongly about this.
Oh, Star Wars can do it. Anybody can.
Exactly. Have you seen Reacher?
I loved Reacher.
Reacher was amazing.
I'm waiting for season 2.
Thank you, dear.
So happy about the fact that it's going to get one.
Yes. I mean, it was good in and of itself, but the fact
It
we're
was
getting
kind
a
of
season-
funny that by season 4, they'd already renewed it.
I am back.
Yeah. But that just goes to show how good of a show that it is. And it's
Oh, yeah.
not like,
If you,
you know.
yeah. If you guys haven't seen Reacher, you need to watch it. It's so worth it. Sassy, did you watch the
Good
Block
Lord.
yet?
No. I don't have time to watch things.
That whole, daytime life and work and all that stuff. And watching soccer games.
I'm
I
still
don't
trying
know
to get
about
Jeremiah to go
your
watch.
priorities.
Yeah, my 2 jobs and my house and going to Mikhail's soccer games and making sure my family doesn't hate me because I don't see them at all. Yeah, I got plenty of time.
Yeah, you have all the time in the world.
Like I said, you gotta get your priorities straight.
You said the block?
The Black.
The black.
Ugh.
The Black. That's the
That's
anime.
my new head for.
Pacific Rim.
Oh, the Pacific Rim anime.
Oh,
My new
we watched the
head
first
for
episode.
2 and 3.
This
But we also started Camp Cretaceous at the same time, and that's been driving me more than the black. But we did watch the first episode.
what is Camp Cretaceous?
Oh, it's a Jurassic Park animated series about these kids that get left behind, right? Left behind on the island when Jurassic World starts, and it's actually canon, and it's really good.
Thankfully.
Alright, on the list. I have to watch that. I have the next 2 weeks off, so I have plenty of time.
Mm.
Honestly, I think
Yeah.
it's the oil pan.
Oh, that is
It's
strong.
hard to tell right now.
Oh.
It's like,
I watch everything in the morning while I'm eating breakfast. So that way, if someone tries to bother
Well,
me,
yeah,
I'm like,
probably.
nope, I'm eating breakfast. But I'm like watching my shows.
I'm unfortunately dumb enough that I generally start watching them late, and then I blame them for why I'm exhausted the next day. And there's always, I swear to myself, tonight I'm going to sleep. Oh, but wait,
it's so freaking dirty. I can't tell where it's going.
See, Mikhail and I always watch, well, not always, maybe like once a night. We watch a show for a few hours before bed, and he goes to bed, and then I stay up and read for another few hours. So,
So sleep is not a thing.
But I'm just gonna
no,
replace as soon as I can,
I don't do that.
So, you know.
Good books and good movies are great.
Yeah.
I loaded in a lot faster.
And now we have a chance to steal.
Yeah, what is going on, dude? Passenger assist. Where are we going? Okay.
Okay. Is there anything they might
Nice.
say
It was
that's not
worth it.
this? Okay, I think this is good.
Dude, I just got shot in the back, dude. He's down.
Oh, never mind, jockey. I was thinking you wear a helmet and gear when you're competing on a horseback, but no, it's gotta be jockey. Yeah.
Sorry, buddy. I didn't get the last three.
No, but
You guys kept going for helmet. There were so many sports ones that I couldn't do. Because a helmet.
I'm really glad you never clicked it.
I don't want to.
Yeah, I'm getting out of here.
Like, what can you put? Wish, earthquake, and pad. Like they're.
Oh, of course, now he's down there. God damn it.
That one, that was good though. We were right neck and neck.
Yeah, that was good.
Damn it.
What's the good one?
Jeremiah, you still need to go see Nope with me. I want you to go watch Nope with me.
No.
I'll go
It's a
watch it.
terrible movie.
It's not
Have you
even
seen
out
it?
yet.
The Notebook, based on the Neil Gaiman.
No.
Nope. Okay. I was like, why is Wider talking about the Notebook? Nope looked okay.
Who was that? Who was that guy who did that? What was his name? The writer?
Neil Gaiman, right?
The Notebook? Isn't that Jeremiah? Isn't that the guy that you like? What's his
Nicholas
name?
No,
Sparks.
it's Nicholas Sparks, not Neil.
Yeah.
Gaiman.
Oh,
It's
sorry.
amazing.
Sorry.
So like one time I saw
Nicholas
him.
Sparks is
I
amazing.
hate Nicholas Sparks. I hate everything he ever
No,
done.
I will not do anything by Nicholas Sparks at all. It's like sadness for the sake of sadness.
You're gonna break Jeremiah.
Yes,
You're gonna upset
exactly. You're
Jeremiah.
just-
Poor guy.
I'll read it with you, Jeremiah.
We went to this event and me and Tabby, there's some friends there. They had this-
Why would I want to watch something that's gonna make me like depressed as fuck for no good reason? Because it's not even a good story.
And this little 14-year-old looks at me and goes, "Oh, your best friend's a girl?"
Nice.
And I was like, "I love you."
Attack Sector B.
You're just guaranteeing if you
Oh.
watch a Nicholas Sparks movie that you're
Dude. Got sniped by the same guy.
I've only ever seen
and
one
then
movie.
someone's gonna die or be horribly destroyed in some fashion.
I don't even
No
think they're
reason
well
but
written.
of chance.
I've only seen one of his movies.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm here.
It was the one with the rodeo.
Oh,
The rodeo?
yeah, he's like,
Oh yeah, that they turned into a.
He's, like, over
movie
there
with,
somewhere.
Pattinson.
I
What?
have no idea. I just know Alan Alda was in it. That's all I remember. And Alan Alda was like God ancient in that movie, and I was like, "Oh shit, that's Alan Alda. How's he still alive?"
you're a sniper over here. Nice, dude. Just about wanted to go shoot him too. Nice job, dude.
Wasn't Hannah Montana in that movie too?
Last Ride, by the way. Any movie called that, I'd be
Yeah.
Just gonna
What are you
function
using?
strings right there. I don't need that shit. There's enough sadness in the world anyway.
Amen.
Although I get yelled at because I say that kind of thing.
Nah, I'm with you, bud. I don't watch movies to get sad.
I apologize. The longest ride, but it's not any better, Bodie.
Yeah, no, that name right there is Longest Ride. Ooh, no.
It's not any better, but it was the longest ride. Because I was like, there was no Hannah Montana in that movie. Different movie. The longest ride. All I remember is Alan Alda being in it.
Motherfucker.
The name's Bond. James Bond. Let me see. It was based on a story. Cover.
Did you get to see Top Gun, Bodie?
What'd you say?
Did you get to watch Top Gun?
No, I haven't yet.
I haven't either.
We had.
Where the hell is all this coming from, dude? I don't see anything.
My son ended up going in for surgery, so we got other things on our minds.
Oh.
I got you. I hate to hear that though.
Long-term fighting with the wound in his backside that it's in a bad place and it just will not heal. So they finally basically went in and said, okay, we're gonna redo everything. And it's like, oh, great. 3 more weeks of absolute hell for my boy. You people better fix it this time. I know where you live.
Oh, geez, that's horrible. Okay.
Yeah, I wish it was good.
I
for
like
me.
Agent for Absolute, sure.
Yes.
I
Story.
like cover better than
All these chemical
story.
explosions, and we just run through it like it's not there.
Wanna flip it?
Yeah, let's do cover
Our lungs
next.
be burning, we be dying.
And he's a field agent.
We're
But I don't know what kind of James Bond fan VOD is.
I've seen
Somebody
it.
did one.
Hey Scott, join our team.
Right, but did he read the books? Or is he just going off the movies? When I think of story, I think of book, I guess, but maybe that's not necessarily the case for everybody.
I know James Bond is supposed to be big
Upstairs, upstairs.
stories. Like each movie is supposed to be like another chapter. Almost
Yeah.
Like with Sherlock.
Right.
What the?
So
I just ran through the stairs, dude.
But we can go story. They're
Okay.
yeah. Oh, nice.
Yay!
Excellent.
Want to end guessing?
We don't have anything else to go on, so I think so. Excellent. Well done.
Me neither, I don't know where they were.
How was Scott today?
Yeah, just woke up from a nap.
Hey, man.
Yo.
I like it.
Bonsai?
Well,
Wait.
We
Instead of
got Tank.
bonsai. Yeah, Tank.
yeah,
Soldier.
I like Tank better than Bonsai.
Bonsai's a tree, isn't it? Is
Oh, it's not bad.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Tank and Bonsai?
Why bonsai?
Probably.
Tank for sure. I mean,
Really?
Boot, maybe?
yeah, I kind of think
Damn,
like
that sucks.
directly war. I mean, I guess you could say like a boot. But
A soldier's boot.
Yeah, can you
What do I not know about bonsai then? I thought they were just the trees.
Did you get a blister?
Foxhole here?
There's a hole.
Oh, yeah, it's also bonsai and tech are the best.
I know Jeremiah well enough to know. I don't know if he knew exactly like how to even read bonsai. So like, I can see it being whole. I don't know. All right, Jeremiah, you can go.
Yeah,
Oh, you can't tell us. We tell.
No, I just want to know if I'm right about that. Like, I bet he didn't even know what that was. He's like, what is that word?
Isn't a bonsai a plant?
It is, yeah, but it's also
It
like.
is, but it's also they would do at least in the early parts of the war, they would do giant bonsai charges. The Japanese, as a last resort, they would essentially just run into the American forces in a suicide death charge with like their bayonets.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought it was totally a plant only.
It's both.
I
don't know what.
I honestly don't think he would know that.
They would all literally scream bonsai in charge.
Yeah, I wouldn't have done that.
So I think it has to be whole or maybe even field, Scott, like the battlefield.
Oh, I already did that.
But we know it for shirt tank. It's definitely tank.
I mean, we could do Einstein, created the atomic bomb, which ended World War II.
No, not German. I wouldn't do that.
I think that
Jeremiah's
run
like,
around
keep
those
things simple.
connection.
He's like, keep things simple.
I think, if I remember correctly. Oh, I don't know.
Jeremiah is not like the Da Vinci Code where you're like analyzing the
I won
picture,
Hangman on my stream deck.
you know, like,
It's very exciting.
this in-depth.
I'm trying to figure out how to get it on the screen.
Jeremiah is more like,
I don't know how to do that
you know,
yet.
the little like dots, follow the dot type situation to make the picture. That's what we're doing right here.
Lot to say about your buddy there, man.
He's not wrong.
Love you, brother. I just know you, man.
Yeah. We've known each other, what, 20 years almost?
18 years.
18?
Yep.
I thought it'd be longer than that.
18 years.
Yeah, these make sense.
Yeah, I'm good with those.
Oh no! Was it figure?
Yeah.
Cliff.
Yeah, I cannot
because when you were
defend.
hunting mammoths, he would drive them over cliffs.
Oh wait, yeah.
Oh, I knew that about bison, but not mammoths.
And I
Yeah,
couldn't find a way to come up to attach cane and blind together. And
By the
also
time my
it's not
game decides to
bonsai,
switch
but
to
the Japanese would shout it was
anti-tank weapon, it's
bonsai,
gone.
which meant long live His Majesty the Emperor.
There's just too much going on for me to play
Well,
this game.
la-ti-da.
Yeah, but bonsai's still in there.
No,
Oh, we could
bonsai.
have
B-A-N.
whole
Unfortunate.
infield in there though.
Yeah.
Whole
Yeah,
infield.
I'm
It's a
sorry,
different-
guys.
It's a different spelling of
No, it's fun.
Yeah, it is. It is a different one. And yes, I know. It's nerd to know that. La-ti-da. Anyway, yeah. That put cane and blind together, and I'm thinking that should be easy.
Yeah.
But anything I tried to say, I couldn't say doctor.
No.
Braille?
I was walking in the dark is not.
It just froze up. I can't move.
What about
Here we go.
Eye Dog?
That was weird.
Braille.
Seeing a dog, I could have gotten away with Braille.
Braille.
Both of those, I didn't.
Well,
neither
and they-
one popped into my head. I am.
The
sorry.
other thing, Bodhi, is like if we, they did get doctor, it's only white though, so like they'll get it next time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, darn it.
It happens.
Sorry.
It happens.
Because me and Jeremiah have been just like going back and forth, so you go ahead and be Spy Master.
Y'all want me to be Spy Master?
Why is this
again?
one so much?
I think
worse
it's your
than the
turn.
last
That would
one?
be great. Yeah,
Okay.
you are spot on tonight too.
Yeah, you're actually killing it.
I have to be away for just a moment. I have to go help my son.
Okay.
So you do want to see Nope, right? Like the Jordan Peele movie.
I'm interested in seeing it. It's not something I'm going to go to theaters to see, but yeah.
Oh man, I think it's gonna be so good in theaters. And I
Nah.
don't like horror films, but I want to see this one.
Well, I feel like they gave it all away in the last trailer, so it's like, well,
See, that's something Jordan Peele would make you think. You know what I mean? Like he's good about that type of stuff.
you're not wrong. But okay, so the only other one of his movies that I've seen was
Get out.
yes, Get Out, and I haven't seen Us yet. So I only know him from that one movie, which was like unsettling, but not like horror to me. Which
See, that's what I like. I don't like slashing blood.
Probably.
Shit. Like,
I don't know what though.
I want like suspense and like the unknown.
I like monster movies. I like serial killer
Yeah,
movies. I
that's why
can't do
haven't been playing it.
zombies,
I can't play this game.
which is most horror movies these days. I haven't ever seen. Okay, the one alien movie I've seen that was actually scary to me was Signs.
Oh yeah, that's actually why Charlie won't go. He doesn't want to watch this movie. Charlie's still terrified because of Signs.
There's that.
You guys watched In the Mouth of Madness?
I've never even heard of that.
It's so slow moving, dude. I can't do anything.
From where it goes,
Yeah.
Right?
I love Sam Neill.
It's
He's in Jurassic Park.
really, really good.
In the
It's
mouth
really good.
of
If you like horror
madness.
movies, yeah, gonna mess with your head.
Horizon. Watch Event Horizon.
Yeah, quit out. That was just
I think I actually have seen that one.
okay. Not even enjoy.
I hated Event Horizon the first time because all the marketing was for a space opera. And we get there and it's a horror, so I was really disappointed. Years later when I watched it, it wasn't bad.
I was like a kid when that came out, so it was like,
Dude.
I couldn't watch it.
What's up with the fucking updates from-
When I watched it, I was like, oh damn, this is a good movie.
It's such a
Updated
shitty movie,
Icarus, and
Signs.
it already has a
Birthday
19
scene.
gig update.
The birthday scene, yes! Oh my god!
Freaked Charlie out so bad.
Got me so bad.
That's
Charlie,
space survival game.
Like my little brother, he loves horror, he loves zombie movies and all that. He hates aliens, and it's that scene right there. That has freaked him out. To this day, he'll like,
Yeah.
not watching that, Jamie. I'm not watching it.
I grew up watching horror movies, and that was the first movie that I ever had to walk away from for a little bit when
What,
that scene came up.
It's not
Signs.
Like, it's not like what you would
Yes.
imagine being a horror movie, but like
No.
the scene just
It was-
terrified him.
Really,
Same.
it was
Same.
good. In the Mouth of Madness has a little bit of that. I've always loved horror movies, and my girl at the time when we first went to that, we're 25 minutes in. Nothing scary has happened, but the suspense is building up so much. She's like, I can't do this, and gets up and leaves.
Oh no!
I was like, all right, I guess we're not watching this movie. And I did notice as I was leaving, I thought it was funny. It's one of the things you judge, or I judge a movie by, is how many people have their feet on the ground. Right? If everybody's got their feet up, a seat in front of them, go nope, then you know it's scary.
So this is. It's.
Okay.
It- Oh, yeah.
Game, yeah. I think goat.
Goat for sure.
Third one. Spider isn't.
Why not?
I mean, Spider's not a insect. I don't know, spider.
I ain't
what
got
kind
no
of spider?
idea.
Arachnid.
As far, yeah, fair. enough. Walking up.
Do it.
Oh no.
Cast. Bowl. Park.
Okay. Animal, Yellowstone Park, filled with animals, dogs bark.
I think I like bark better. That's what I was initially looking at first, after the obvious ones.
Okay, go for it.
Yeah, buddy! Go, Cal.
Good job, Kel.
So, In the Mouth of Madness pays tribute to Lovecraft?
Yes.
Ooh, I grow more intrigued.
So subtle and so well done. I was like,
Whatever
okay.
stuff.
And Samuel
Well,
plays a skeptic.
Let's switch over to Xbox.
Ah, a Jamie.
There you go. But it very much worth it.
Freaking Jeremiah and Tabby making me go to the stupid freaking Mothman festival.
Hear me?
Next time you go, take me with you.
You can take my spot.
Hello?
They'll probably have more fun.
I'm gonna switch over to Xbox.
Freaking time.
Hey.
Spend 30 minutes in that freaking auditorium listening to this guy, how smart he is, and how he's a Bigfoot. Dang you, Jeremiah.
Do you remember who the guy was?
No, I don't want to know.
I'm just curious if I've actually heard of him from my side.
I don't recall. That's
I
been
just remember him
many
being
years
so
ago.
smart, super intelligent.
Let me see. I feel like I took pictures.
Okay.
Roger, you know, it was the only remotely interesting thing around where you live.
So's the guy from Alaska.
True. I mean, you're not wrong. We have the state fair every year. That's what we look forward to.
Okay, so it's Washington D.C.
You distracted me. Washington D.C.
I assume it's Washington, but
I thought he was talking about cleaning up the government.
No, we're cleaning up the
It's
D.C.
cotton.
franchise.
Jeremiah, we
It's
gotta do
trash.
cotton. Jeremiah, we gotta do cotton now because it's washing like cotton. Washington D.C. I have the embassy. No, because the embassy is they're all like in New York, right? Is there an embassy?
Have you ever seen Event Horizon?
I've only been in D.C. once, so I don't
No.
know if it's in D.C.
It looks like a perfect marriage of our favorite genres.
Yeah?
It's sci-fi and horror.
Way more than me.
I'm pretty sure there's
Anything
like
else in it?
embassies and stuff like.
Sam Neill from Jurassic Park.
Oh, really?
Like there's parks.
Oh, you know what?
And it's the year after Jurassic Park, so he'll look just like it.
I haven't seen it, but I've
I feel like embassies like
Seen
more
or
government. You know what I mean? Like, so you want
had some interest in it.
Yeah, we should
Because
list it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't you agree?
Mm. This one is it's pretty strong. I'm taking my time.
Yeah, there's
Pretty
like
good.
I have to be up
millions of
and ready by 6:45, so.
I have pictures from that festival, but I don't have a picture from when we were in the auditorium.
What year was it, Jeremiah?
We were there in 2014, so the 13th festival.
And you are still complaining about it.
I am. I will.
Wow.
Oh my god, this was like 10 years ago, Jamie?
You always make it sound like it was just last year or something.
You do. I thought it was like something you did in the last.
Yeah, you made it
No.
seem like this was last week.
I'm never gonna forget that shit.
Yeah, because you keep talking about it.
Look, I had to
I'm
go
not
to
doing that.
One Direction concerts with my son like back in the day, and all of his friends. So Mothman would have been fine.
I mean, it was pretty neat.
I really want to go one day. What? I know.
Or you could just play Fallout
I
70.
still didn't get you a t-shirt, my bad.
I am disappointed. Not really. Now I have to go and get one myself. When are those usually held?
It's usually in September. It's usually held the same weekend as a festival we have here locally. And
Jody
well,
Cook. Have you ever heard of Jody Cook?
No, that name is new to me. You want to see a good Bigfoot presentation, you should look for Micah Hanks. He knows what he's talking about.
But see, that's where you're wrong, because he's doing Bigfoot presentations.
He has a really interesting approach to it, and his voice is like honey. He's so much, it's so soothing to listen to him.
Actually, one of the best presentations I've seen, as far as ever, just anything, right before there were TED Talks, was about the idea of aliens building the pyramids. And the guy who was delivering it was a professor of something out of Berkeley. But he's like, I don't believe aliens built the pyramids, but let's talk about it. Let's think about it. Let's apply critical thought to this idea.
That's cool.
The presentation he gave was fantastic because he's like, whether I believe it or not doesn't matter. What if I'm wrong? But if you think about anything with a level of intellectual application, and you break it down based on critical thinking, right? It's always going to be at least moderately interesting. If you just go, aliens couldn't have built the pyramids, there's no aliens. Okay, tell me what you're basing it on, or shut the fuck up.
We need more presentations like that. That's how my favorite podcast does things, kind of, and it's fascinating just thinking about things, you know?
Yeah. Even if you look at it and go, I really can't get there, but if you think about it and spend some time on it and apply some analytical thought, it becomes both fascinating and a wonderful thought exercise. Holy crap, you said 3, Sassy, not every click on the board?
Well, you weren't helping. I went crazy.
I was busy narrating. Where do you get Pottery Angel?
I was thinking of Ghost. I wasn't sure if she would go there, but I thought I'd throw it out there.
Okay, fine. Pottery Bowl, Pottery Wheel, those both match.
Yes, those I feel really confident about. Oh no! Oh no!
Good job.
I clicked it, but I blame Sassy.
We should have gone pitcher too, actually. Bowl pitcher.
Yeah. Well, I would have started with Wheel, actually. Because
Yeah, I would have started with wheel too. Yeah.
Have you ever heard
God,
of
I can't smell anything today!
What is that supposed to be?
Celestials.
I know what he means.
Still waking up.
Yeah, I mean, I think that has to be it, right? But what else?
No, at Angel, that's got to be Pottery.
It was just a guess I was putting out there as an option. Calm yourself.
I think it's gonna be like Mercury Jeremiah, because like the Roman gods type thing.
Mm-hmm.
You good with that?
That's fine.
Sass, on your podcast, you ever heard about the Flatwood monster?
Yeah, actually I have.
We're gonna go see the site, I think Wednesday.
You're gonna go to
Cool.
Flatwood?
Like in West Virginia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Why are you going all the places I want to go?
I know. Why am I not closer friends with Tabby instead of you?
Exactly. We want Tabby.
What is
Spider.
What is this place?
It was a monster sighting in like the 50s or something. It's their way of getting people to come bring them money. That's what it is.
You should swing by Baltimore, Jamie.
Well, I'm not driving. That's the problem, Scott. Otherwise, I would.
The Flatwoods monster was part of Project Blue Book?
Where in West
It's
Virginia?
it's not gonna be far from Green Bank because I think we're gonna swing by Green Bank, which is like this massive satellite dish that's like looking for signals in space.
Oh, you've been trying to get me to go there for
Green
I
years.
Bank?
want to go see the Green Bank.
This says Greenback. You sure it's not Greenback?
Yeah, no, it's Bank. Pretty sure.
Okay, looking at this, so I was thinking rail, like, you know, trains, and they're very fast. Dash,
Oh,
pretty
yeah,
much
right.
straight up dash.
Yeah,
Right?
I
That
like
one.
Dash.
Fastball for pitcher, that could be, you know.
Well, and I was also thinking it tied to pottery, too.
Yeah, so I'd say, okay, go for dash and pitcher first.
It's a dead zone too, Scott. Like they turn off all like.
Fuck!
Okay, we are 0 for 0 on, or 0 for
Pottery is not our thing.
pottery. Yeah, pottery is not our thing.
I feel so bad, my brother is a potter.
Was it? Oh, the Blair Witch Project. Remember that?
I've never seen that and I want to!
I couldn't get into it because I know exactly where they're talking about, and I've walked all through those woods, and it's 2 whole miles. Yeah, and I'm
Oh.
looking at that going, you've run far enough now, you've come out the far side, and you've crossed over 2 major highways.
Well, I haven't seen it, but I imagine in the dark and panicky, you'd probably run in circles.
No. You can, it's never thick enough, you can't see people's house lights.
Oh.
The wiki entry I put is the thing I'm talking about.
See, now that would work in Alaska because you could very easily be somewhere where you.
Yeah. Montana and Washington, too.
Those would be fine, but that was, I'm like, it's in Maryland. I drive by it every
Yeah,
couple of weeks
like
when I go
there's a
see
lot
a
of
buddy
wooded
of
places
mine.
in Maryland, but there's always a house or
Yeah,
a road. or
seriously,
something.
that
it never
particular
stops.
segment of woods, I'm like, please, if you, even if they just given it no name, they hadn't identified where it was, okay, I'd have been better off. But as it was, I'm like, take a left, you'll run right by Mickey's house. It's not going to be that big a deal. His dogs will bark at you and scare whatever the hell's behind you.
There's a game based on that movie.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it at all, but I have it on my list. You do?
Yeah.
You
I
should
play it one night?
stream it, yeah!
Yeah. Okay. Maybe I'll do that Tuesday.
Nice.
Speaking of
I don't know, when we
locations,
played Rogue Company.
Evergreen Mills is a location in Fallout 3, and that's where my house was when I lived in Virginia. And if you go to that spot, you will see a large yellow ranch house in the game. That it's not the same design, but I sit there and go, you have a yellow ranch house, which was mine. Evergreen Mills. Okay, my house is in the game.
Wow, that's cool.
Very cool.
Hey Kel, if you go to Camden Park in 76, can you like, see across the river from
No.
on the road? See, that's stupid. Because my house should be there across the river.
Yeah,
Well,
they
we-
have it to
we have
where
to actually
halfway
get the thing where
through
you're
the
going
river
right?
you can't go out of
Wait,
bounds.
how wide is the river? Because the river shouldn't be that wide.
It's not. It's not. But like halfway, that's like the balance of the game, and so then
This is
across
good.
it's just really blurry. Like you can tell it's forest, but you can't.
So if
see
you're
it.
at Camden Park,
Rogue
you need
Company.
to go just straight north. That's where I live.
Cool. Well, they've
See-
moved things around in the game. Too.
Yeah,
It's
but
not.
I've liked it better when Bethesda used to do things like that, where you'd go into the city and you could at least recognize parts of the layout.
Oh
you're
yeah,
like-
that's the way 76
Well,
is.
being this close to Huntington, let me assure you, like the giant potholes, like where the bombs fell in the middle of the street, that's legit. Like we do have that.
Yeah, same in.
That was there beforehand.
That was before. Yeah, that wasn't the bombs. Those were just West Virginia roads.
And everyone walking around like zombies. Yeah, no, that's just the people here.
Yeah, that's meth.
Yes.
Pretty sure that's what they said. Like, Impractical Jokers came to Huntington, and when we went to saw them, they had this guy that did like the opening act, and he was asking people, "What can I do in Huntington?" And someone yelled, "Meth."
Wow.
I'm sorry. These three are like there's no way to.
It always runs
Happened to me
into
earlier,
that.
man.
Oh, has anybody seen the Tomorrow War?
Not yet.
Chris Pratt? I
Yeah,
liked it.
that one.
I liked it.
Yeah. Okay.
Is that the Chris
Did
Pratt
they do a
one?
watch night of it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, you guys did a watch night of it, but I couldn't make it because my internet sucked at the time.
I'm just looking at my list of go and watch, and I'm thinking, okay.
We have a whiteboard of those, so we don't have to keep going back and forth between like Netflix and Hulu and all the other services.
Go down, yeah.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
just finished Vox Machina.
Crap, what was the series you told me earlier?
Camp Cretaceous.
Thank you. Because I added it, but it didn't save.
I just finished Ozark.
Was that good?
Yeah, I ending. I'm like, I kind of wanted them to go a different way, but
Have you guys seen Altered Carbon?
yeah, oh
Yes.
yeah.
That one was good.
The animated, the first season, the second season. Which one are we talking about?
I didn't know they had animated. Silence.
Yeah, it's called Re-Sleeved.
Interesting. It's just such an interesting concept. I like the first season better than the second, but it's still just fascinating enough to make you want to watch.
It's funny. What I liked about it was that the story was good, but the mechanics it allowed the cast and crew to put together, as far as that goes, because you could keep the same characters while totally changing the way they looked, going with different actors and everything else, so you could continue to tell the same story but run through so many different cast members and get lots of cool people through there. I was like, I want to see that.
Yeah. It's just fascinating all around. It was really cool.
Yeah, I think that's it, Jeremiah. Go for it.
You guys watched Arcane?
Yes, actually.
Abby just watched it for she just finished it about a month ago.
That was fantastic. That just proves that Riot isn't a game company. They're a media company that also makes games.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't even be Riot Games. It should be Riot Game. Because
Except for
everything comes back to that one
better
thing.
their games at the moment.
Yeah. I will watch any Riot music video, any Riot anime
Tabby's also got
trailer,
into
all of
KDA.
that.
She loves KDA right now.
I may or may not also.
What's
be sucked into
KDA?
KDA.
KDA was the Ari Evelyn band, skin band.
Oh, yeah, okay.
What?
It's really good.
Wait, they have actual music?
Oh yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
That sounds terrible.
No, it really is good, man.
Nope, it's not.
Scott, he's right. They make better media than they do games. Like Riot.
They do. And League of Legends is a great game if you could take all of the people out of it.
See, I'm done with it, Bodhi. I'm done.
So am I.
I've been happy.
Because of the people.
I am happy right now. Did you hear me, Scott? We finished Vox Machina, by the way.
Oh, nice. The show?
Yeah, I really enjoyed that.
I haven't seen it.
Grog is amazing, dude.
I honestly wanna listen to the campaign first before I watch the show.
Well, come on.
If I ever played D&D, Grog would be how I play D&D.
Come on, Shaky.
There's one scene where he picks up his best friend. He's like, I missed you so much. It's so good having you back.
Hey.
Why are you glowing? And she says, astral projection. And he goes, your ass what?
Yes.
I
love it.
died. There must have been 45 minutes of me just losing my mind.
After watching that show, I went to YouTube and like watched the best of Grog in Critical Role, and I've just loved it.
Yeah.
I love that
Okay,
saying.
so-
I even like the saying like he has, like, I have an intelligence of 6. I know what I'm doing. I love that.
Sweetheart.
So skates, that makes sense. And then cast, I was thinking like cast when you fish.
Oh,
Fishing.
I was thinking like making casts of things because I was still in the pottery train.
Sure, which actually that works.
Whoa, nope. I'm wondering if she's giving us extra.
I don't know, but I'll go ahead and click skates.
Yeah, it's your turn to click stuff.
Yeah, it is. It is. All right, now I'll click cast. I think this is
Yeah,
right.
buddy.
Okay, now hobbies. I don't know what else it could have been for. Maybe pottery. I mean, I know that old pipes were made out of ceramic.
I'm also thinking along the lines of skateboarding.
Oh, half pipe. Okay, I'll click it.
Damn it!
Because I'm pretty sure you guys are getting last. Why wouldn't it be pottery bowl?
Because we did picture and it was wrong. And we did wheel and it was wrong. So now we're gun shy about pottery.
We are extremely gun shy.
We know bowl is there. We know bowl is there. It's been there, but it's just nothing we've said for pottery has made sense or worked. So I feel like we just kind of threw it out.
Like, what she said.
Well, if you did, I didn't hear it. 'Cause...
I know you can't tell, but well, now you can. Bye. Thanks for visiting. Nice to see you.
Pits?
Didn't stop.
Oh, I know what the other one is. I know what the other one is.
Jeremiah, you there?
It's break. I think it's break. Shit, rail also would work for skates.
Oh, you're fine, man. So,
Damn it.
No, I didn't hear it,
okay, so I'm not really good at like keeping track of the West. Is Yellowstone one of the places that's on
You know what? Michelle was just sitting there laughing. She's like, you know, all I could think about is if Aaron was here, he'd just be rolling on the ground laughing his ass off.
I feel like I heard Yellowstone in the news the other day, but I
You don't
Yellowstone's in the news from flooding.
fire, that works.
Yellowstone's flooded.
sometimes an ambulance goes to a fire.
That's true. Break fire,
You
fire
know,
break
it's
sea.
not a fire truck.
Fire bean, bean fire. Fire well, well fire. You could use a well to put out a fire, I guess. So it's one of these three, I think. I think it's well, Yellowstone, or ambulance.
Go for
I
Yellowstone.
mean, sometimes it
I
happens, man.
feel like a lot of places out west are on fire, so that's kind of why I think might be Yellowstone.
This
Go for
first
Yellowstone.
Friday, That's wrong, man.
That's what you want to
I
go
think
with.
so.
I'm gonna use
Michelle plays that game without a
I'm gonna
problem.
use more ambulance.
Alright, let's do it.
Just because
No.
of what I feel.
We do this team. Let's go. Ambulance.
Okay.
You suck, Jeremiah.
At least it wasn't black. Alright.
It's probably Yellowstone.
Yeah,
I'm not racist like you, so you know I'm gonna say that.
your handles it flawlessly. Like when we played at the office.
Thumb bite?
Yeah.
So it's a Shakespearean.
Just fine.
You bite your thumb at me, sir?
Yes, it's a Shakespearean insult.
But I do not bite my thumb at you, sir.
Cal would know this. It's
My computer's designed
it's
for
thumb.
wrenching,
Is that from?
What the hell is that?
Romeo and Juliet. It's like
Okay.
literally the first scene of the play. A Montague and a Capulet walk by each other in the street, and one guy's biting his thumb. And he's like, "Do you bite your thumb at me, son?"
Oh my god.
"I bite my thumb, but I cannot bite the
I love this reenactment. I love this.
I'm actually quite enjoying this.
Scott, you and I can't be friends anymore.
Okay, as far as that
Whoa.
goes,
Oh, okay.
break. How do we get from break?
Breaks the skin?
Fair enough. On the other hand, what about bowl?
Yeah, bowl is an option still. If we get spider and thumb right, then I think we can revisit bowl and or break.
Let's go.
Okay, revisiting. Okay, but what a
At this point in time, I don't know.
Holy shit, the whole team came out.
Sure cussedness.
I mean, okay, let's look. What else could have been pottery? I thought thumb maybe for pottery. Cast for pottery. Yeah, I think bowl, probably. Yes!
Well done,
Yellowstone, Jamie. Yeah.
Yellowstone is in the news because it's flooded. Yellowstone is flooded.
Like half the coast,
It was
west side's on
fire
fire.
break.
Have you never heard of a
Fire
fire break,
break.
Jamie?
I knew it was fire break.
Fire break.
Yeah, so
We
did I. I'm
have
sitting
fire
here going,
breaks here in Ohio.
They cut fire breaks through forests so that the fire can't jump over them.
Yep, we are.
Setting more trees on fire.
No, see, we don't have that in Southern Ohio.
Oh.
Online with it.
No.
Yeah.
Jeremiah, do we have fire breaks in
There's
Southern
a-
Ohio?
yeah, cool.
You're the reporter.
I was like, oh my god, I found a word that puts pit and break together.
That was great.
I wouldn't. My mind wouldn't
I was
have went there.
surprised.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
I'm sorry you're on that team, Spaz.
Yeah, get me on this team.
Is it my turn?
Wait,
Fine,
no, let's
okay.
Let's shuffle teams.
Fucking black chick.
Split up the dream team that haven't won yet?
How do we do that?
Whoever's the host.
Whoever's, yeah, Kel, I think, is the host.
Should I shuffle?
Good.
Mix it up.
That's what we always do.
Yeah, my hand's good.
I don't know how.
I think you click your name, it's right there, I think.
Yeah, I clicked that, but I have.
Is it
become
under
spectator,
players?
Switch to red team.
What?
It's under players.
What did you say? Yeah.
Play with video. Randomized teams. Here we go.
I didn't know we could play with video chat. Wouldn't that be funny to see if everyone could see the Spy Master freaking out?
How's that? Or do we want one more shuffle?
God damn it.
I'm fine.
This is shuffled.
Okay.
All right, Jamie, you or me? Because Spaz just went.
You can have it.
Okay.
We're all dead. Oh, really?
Okay. Getting trippy with it. We're gonna piece together. Okay, I've got wool, mill, honey, and net. But I have Wider and Spaz on my team. Bulb, too. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I was like, how are they not getting goal? I was like, leisure activities, pottery.
Well, we just... There were a lot of things that should have been pottery.
We were afraid of bowl.
Because pitcher was wrong and wheel was wrong. Nothing was right anymore.
That's exactly right.
I didn't see that wheel was on there. That one was my bad.
Okay.
The fuck?
Wool,
Steam this
wool,
thing, dude. I
mill,
just shot some.
honey, and net.
Yeah.
I offered Charlie the same deal, by the way, to go watch that movie with me. I'd pay for gas, I'd buy the movie ticket, I'd buy popcorn, I'd buy candy, and he still won't go see it either.
You're supposed to buy dinner too.
Oh, and dinner. Yeah, I did offer. Like, you know.
All right.
But he won't
Oh
want
yeah,
to.
treat him like a special lady.
I'm trying. I want someone, you know, to go watch this with us, but no one. All my friends are cowards.
I'll go with you. Have you seen
I'm
Top
not
Gun?
paying for your guys to come down here and see it.
Yeah, have you seen Top Gun in theaters?
I did, but Vody hasn't seen it yet, so we're gonna.
I have not either. Do not give spoilers.
So,
I mean,
What?
you're free
No
to pay for
way.
Ace and I to come down there. I mean, we're only like an hour away.
Yeah,
2
so
hours away.
The gas gets a little bit.
I've heard of Strange Horticulture. I've actually watched somebody stream it.
you're like
And it did look interesting, but I didn't know if my streaming audience would be interested in such a game.
Yeah, they definitely have to be like a weekend thing.
God, I really wish I could connect all those. Bulb, wool, mill, honey, and net. It's industry.
So
But I have Wider and Spaz. Are they gonna get that? Look at mine. They'll go for
What
mine, I
shot
bet.
did you?
I had a feeling Charlie would go see that.
They might get some of the others, though.
He doesn't ever like do this, but I could just imagine that movie freaking him
I
out.
feel like I have to try because it's so many.
I could just picture like that freaking Charlie out so much. He's like, nope. He gets up and just leaves the theater.
Alright. I just want to do this because I want to see what happens.
Dude, how am I not hitting anybody right
I'll be right back.
I didn't hit anybody for like, it was like 10 people that run to that corner. Yeah.
Spaz for the win. No, get up. Get off there.
So I
Get
think
off of there.
mine.
I-
Yeah.
No, it's not mine. I had to try. Shit, get off of school. I knew that might be an issue.
Look at our ability.
You went for bulb but not wool? Or honey? Or net?
You could almost argue anything is industry.
Let's go do mine and
I wish I had
Is that
word.
Okay.
Mill first. Mill first!
Oh.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, that sucks.
I guess they got mill.
Apparently, she's never heard of the mining industry.
It was a risk.
She's never been.
It was a risk. Are you kidding me? Montana's based on mining. It was a risk that I took.
I think Kel stepped away, didn't she?
Yeah.
She did. So you're solo right now.
I believe in you. You got this.
Sass, it makes me feel better. I actually did not know Montana had like a mining industry.
Montana was part of the gold rush. Our capital was initially supposed to be Butte, built on the copper mines.
Clue what's out in Montana? I have no idea.
Obviously, since you think we burn freaking crosses in our backyards.
What the hell are you talking about?
He is being just a shithead when I was spy master, and they were just going all off about all these things that they assumed Montanans did in their backyards.
And Jeremiah asks you,
So
do you think they're
much fun
crosses
with
in the
that.
backyard?
And the corn
Like,
they
maybe they're on
grow,
fire.
the ears of corn.
That was a freaking mess.
The saddle.
That was
Alaska's a
actually
big
really
mining
funny. I'm not
state,
gonna
Yeah,
lie. I
that
really
was-
like that one.
Yeah, I know Alaska is. All of the west side. I mean, people would stop in.
My mom works at a zinc mine that is quite literally in the middle of nowhere. Like it is, there's no town. They like fly to a airstrip and or drive up a dirt road in like the middle of nowhere. It's like a self-contained facility.
Wow. Mikhail's dad was
2
a.
weeks on, 2 weeks off.
Jeez. I can't imagine. Mikhail's dad was a power lineman in Alaska for a while, so he would do like the puddle jumper flights to get around the state to go to remote areas to fix their power lines. He's got some crazy stories.
Do it.
You make a lot of money doing this.
Kel
stuff.
gets back.
Mm-hmm.
No, you can do that one. You got this.
Oh yeah.
I definitely thought you would have gone with like
Kel gets back.
sharp. But I guess you got razor too. Well, no, I would have gone sharp for razor. Sharp?
Yeah, I'm here.
You might get school though,
You're polite.
if they're being obtuse. So after my brilliant industry clue... Oh, I know what I'm gonna do next. I got a good one. If I know. I know. I am so envious of you because you have Kel on your team. I mean, Spaz is good. Whiter is so off the wall, though.
I think Montana sounds a lot like where we're at. Sass. It's just flat. Where we're really hilly. Pretty sure that's like the only difference between the two.
No, the eastern side of Montana is flat, but I'm in the western side where it's nothing but Rocky Mountains.
Jamie, you know Montana is Spanish for mountain, right?
Yeah.
I thought you were on the flat side.
No, I'm on the mountain side.
My bad.
I never told you which side I was on, and it's a gigantic state, so you can be excused for that oversight.
Driving across
I really thought you were on,
Montana,
like, the east
the
side.
bottom. What is that? What highway is that? One where you basically
The
I can't
bottom
remember.
where?
Driving across the bottom of Montana, Montana. There's a highway that goes all the way across the bottom, and they have a sign that says "Fill up now."
Yeah, they do that in all the highways.
That place is massive.
Oh
Yeah.
And, I also remember hitting the front of that. My brother and I are driving across the country, so I fill up on gas, and I get out there, and I was like, okay, what are we likely to see for cops? And they're like, the guy just laughed at me. 115 miles an hour, no problem. Zooming as fast as I can. I think I passed 3 cops. They ignored me like I was nothing.
That sounds about right. Yeah, that sounds about right. And, I mean, now... I know there was a time period when we didn't have speed limits. We do have an 80-mile-an-hour speed limit on most highways now.
Depends on how they feel. If you're an asshole about it, they'll be like, okay, fine, you were going too fast.
Yeah.
80 and you were going too fast.
If they have, you know, the energy to get up and go after you.
I actually did not believe it. I was like, wait, is it really the Spanish for mountains? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's Spanish for mountain. Jesus. Did you think I would have let that pass without saying something?
I thought he was just being making a joke or something. Like, no,
Dead serious.
Played it.
Called mountain.
I'm so impressed that Scott knows that though, because you don't even come from here.
The Anchorman thing, like San Diego,
It's Spanish.
it's Spanish.
Oh, all right.
China, you know, like that
My
type of thing.
grandma was
They're going to four-wheeler right now.
Nicaragua.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, York.
Yeah.
All right. See, I didn't get to meet you on the eventful ID loss.
Actually,
yeah, you can never tell looking at me. I'm white as fuck, but I do
So,
have,
but I can
I'm a
see-
quarter Nicaraguan.
I can see Jamie in particular, but most of us on this call being that kind of person who would look at somebody and tell them completely wrong, right? You know,
I would never.
no. It's like my Spanish teacher in high school. Day one, he says, "Okay, everybody repeat this after me. Tengo una tortilla en mi nariz." And we're all like, "Okay," I'm just rattling that off. And half the people in class who already speak Spanish are taking it for a
We're using.
credit, are just dying laughing, and the rest of us are like, "What?" And he's like, "Nope, that's what you say whenever you meet your girlfriend's dad, right? And she, you know, she speaks Spanish and they speak Spanish, and you want to impress him, right?" At which point, since the rest of the class is laughing, all of us are going, "No fucking way, it's happening."
Wait, okay, I
got it, two people with that. This is Tango una tortilla en mi nariz. Right? I may be mispronouncing it, but it basically means I have a tortilla in my knuckle.
I'm so glad you translated because I've only had 1 year of Spanish, unfortunately, and it did not cover that.
That was my problem. I've only had 1 year, and I thought Scott was doing, like I said, the Anchorman thing, like San Diego, you know.
Do we not have any?
Hold on.
But that's like, see, I can see people. That's what I'm saying, Jamie. Is I understand why you would think that because I can see people in this chat.
I've never. Okay, I know I said I would never, but I actually haven't ever done that in this group.
Which is acceptable. I didn't say everybody.
Yet, Sass. Yet.
You drive me closer to it every day.
That gas station thing is also an Alaska thing. I remember.
I
was
bet.
driving, kind of the long way to Anchorage from Fairbanks, and like you had to stop at Glen Allen. If we're going from Valdez to Anchorage or Valdez to Fairbanks or Fairbanks to Anchorage, it was like a three.
Jeremiah, I think
there
you
was
need
an
to...
entire military convoy there.
I don't know. You might have to risk this one for the biscuit, buddy. I think she might be taken.
Oh
Oh.
What were you thinking? Why didn't you wait for Kel?
no!
Okay, that was a quick one.
Should we reset with the same spy masters?
Last one, since that was such a quick one.
Well, I mean, if Kel's not coming, is Kel coming back?
Oh, Kel's in charge of it, ain't she?
Yeah.
Oh no, she is. Okay. Well, in the meantime.
Did she step away for? I didn't hear what she was stepping away for. I didn't know if she was just like.
I didn't catch you.
I don't think she said. She just stepped away.
Okay.
But Scott, have you ever been to Nome?
No, because there is no reason to go there.
When you were in Alaska, did you keep the candle in the car?
Scott, that was amazing. I just felt like Sassy's heart just died when you said that too.
No, there's alien abduction stories in Nome.
It's like 500 miles away from where I am and where I live, and it's like there's literally nothing. It's like
Except aliens.
tiny town.
So alien abduction stories are what they do to pass the time.
Well, Mikhail's dad was actually in Nome at the time, so I was just curious to hear from someone else who doesn't have a history of telling stories.
Dude.
Yeah, I wish I had gone more north.
This sniper rifle sucks. For DMR, where the fuck?
Should've gone.
That makes sense. I would have gone south too.
You have to like fly it. There's no road.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
It's literally, I mean, if it's not 500, it's many hundreds of miles from where I was. It's like on the west coast or something.
Yeah, it's on the coast.
So much, like the vast majority of Alaska is inaccessible by road, including our capital, which is, is great.
Sounds about right.
So guys, I think I'm gonna call it a night.
Okay.
Throw the game, and now you're gonna call it night.
Towards midnight.
I'm about to call it myself.
That's not a bad idea.
Whoa.
It was a lot of fun. We had some good games.
We did. We had some good discussions as
Now I'm
well.
gonna flip a quarter and see if I go watch again or start Camp Cretaceous.
Oh man, it's a little slow starting off because it feels kiddish, but it gets adultish.
You need to go watch
Just like Clone
In the
Wars.
Mouth of Madness.
It's exactly like Clone Wars. Yeah, I
In
have.
the Mouth of Madness with like in the dark, and, that there's like make sure the cat isn't there to comfort you.
Oh, you just try keeping both my cats away. That'll work really
How
well.
did I only do 38 damage?
But no, that one, you will like that one a lot.
I will suggest it this weekend, and see if Mikhail's up for something creepy.
Very creepy.
He married you, so obviously he likes creepy shit.
Ha ha ha! I didn't actually have a creepy side when he married me, so he had to deal with that as it went.
So you're saying that all of the alien abductions, Bigfoot, etc., all that developed.
Oh, almost had it.
Post-marriage, yes.
All right. There's a paper there.
Not because of the marriage. Well, okay, obtusely because of the marriage. Because I grew up in such a strict household that I couldn't have looked into any of that before I got married. And was encouraged to explore my own interests. So Yes, because I was married, but no, not really.
I understand how people are so accurate. Like,
Now
I
I
can't
kinda feel bad
fucking
for
shit
making
right now.
No, ironclad. You can't affect me with anything.
Challenge accepted, Jamie says.
Exactly, that's what
No,
I'm saying.
I mean, go for it. I don't care. Your opinion means nothing to me.
Damn.
Man.
Now Jamie's feeling the pain.
That's how you win. You strike first.
See, it's not
Wow.
all about winning, though. If it's all
It's
about,
about winning.
Listen,
Okay.
if we all
With
had-
Jamie, it's about winning. If I were engaged in a battle of wits with you, Vod, it'd be another story because you're actually armed. But Jamie,
Okay, I'm gonna accept that as a compliment while Jamie's busily crying. in
I
the corner.
actually was being nice, like, oh, I kind of feel bad.
oh, if you're being sincere, I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to clap back.
Really bad.
I was feeling sassy. No, I don't feel bad at all.
Shock, extreme shock. Oh, I can't shock. Oh man, bye.
Okay, sorry that took so long. We want to go another round?
Yeah, my damn dumbass friend, he like lost the game
No,
for me. I'm
and
sorry.
Scott's gone too, so I think
I'm here.
we're. Oh, okay, you're here. It shows you as gray, so.
Oh, I did X out of it. Yeah, I thought we were done. I mean, I can do another one. Do we have 6?
We have 4.
We got 4, but
You'd be
1v1.
come on, join Scott.
Pop in.
If you're smart, you'll join the blue time.
Team.
Y'all want me to be the spy master again?
Scott, from my fucking
You've
sanity,
been
join the
hit-
red side.
You've been hitting it all night long, Kel. I mean, even
Yeah.
when you couldn't figure it out. You were doing great.
Let's just go doing it.
That's okay that this is 3 versus 2.
Oh, god damn it. Of course.
It's funny when I was taking talking about the scary stuff and not being able to, which just might be heavy, so tell me to shut up if it is. But not being able to explore your own interests. When I was taking creative writing, one of the things that we had to do was, write a short story because creative writing, and one of the stories freaked me the fuck out.
Ooh.
By a girl who had never had a chance to write anything like that before. Her first college class, right? And they're like asking her to do this, and she had some severe talent, particularly in that area. And it was a ghost story, that very much like the M. Night Shyamalan thing with.
God damn it.
You didn't know it was.
What the fuck is that guy?
That's so cool.
Throwing bombs that float
and
at you.
they rolled over, and everybody had the same reaction. They were like, "Oh shit!" But
Ah.
we all expected that she would have like a history of writing like that and all that. Nope, first time she ever put imagination into pen to paper thoughts. And we were all like, "Okay, you have talent. Tell your parents to fuck off, move out, write."
That's awesome. I knew a guy in high school like that, but unfortunately the creative writing teacher was about page length rather than... Yeah, I hate that. Like, personally as an English teacher, I hate that. It's about content, not quantity. But he was about quantity. And so my friend wrote these amazing stories, but his handwriting was so small, you needed like a magnet.
Yeah, me too.
Sounds like me.
But I was like belting out like 20-page stories within half an hour because I have big loopy handwriting.
I saw your last
I
message.
was
My
using-
handwriting got
I saw your last message come through.
when I realized that my teacher was all about the page count. It's like, okay, fine. That C can be another inch big. I don't care.
You guys didn't have to type your papers? All of mine were freaking typed.
I
They
did,
didn't
but
have
not for this
typewriters when I
class.
was young.
Typewriters. Okay. They didn't have them when I was young either.
Yeah. Oh, feeling the old. See, I said that for Jamie so he wouldn't have to.
I had issues. Okay, so none of my teachers cared about like there were length requirements, but I was always the one who went way over because I'm too verbose. I'm sure all of you were shocked by that. And in my speech class, we had to write a 3-page speech about something big that had happened in our lives, and mine was 20 pages.
How can you shrink something big that happened in your life? See,
I know! It was a multi-day event. It required 20 pages.
That's what I love helping students to do, is figuring out like what is the most important out of this story, and not that all of it isn't important, it's all very important, but it's like what is the most important.
I probably could have used some help like that.
I
Yeah.
used to love speech class because we would do once a week. We did extemporaneous, and the teacher would give you a topic. And I was always up there because I love to do the stand-up comedy versions of pretty much anything. Right? Death, bubonic plague. I almost got myself killed when I did the stand-up comedy version of the monthly bill.
Did you have a speech and drama group in your class, your school?
No, just speech class. Oh, I wish we'd had. My school was too small for any of that. If we had acting, drama, any of that, would have been right in there. It was
Yeah,
so much fun.
my speech and drama didn't start till my junior year, so I get that. But I made a point of like my AP comp class. Well, there's only 2 of them listed or given. So tube or foam. Which one do you like better?
I like foam.
Okay, go for foam.
No, it's got to be Mohawk.
Shit. Okay, tube.
Mohawk.
Tube in her back pocket.
Mohawk.
You don't do that with conditioner, Jesus.
You know, I guess conditioner doesn't really foam.
Depends on how much you use and whether or not you know to wash it out before you get out of the shower.
I guess it foams a little bit.
Probably tube. You just want to click Mohawk.
I absolutely do.
Yeah.
I made it a point in my AP Comp class to always write papers that my teacher would want to keep as examples for later classes. And he was telling us that he had never had anybody write a comparison paper that was humorous. It was always about something really serious. So I wrote a paper about Star Trek versus Star Wars, and he kept that for his first humorous example.
That's awesome.
We should
You are
have...
now officially top geek in my book.
We should have, like, a writing prompt in our Discord or something.
Yes!
We should do that, because we have some creative people here.
Set it up, Sass.
Do it.
No, Kel's the actual, like, teacher, though. I don't know what I'm doing.
Honestly, I think like you guys would be fine just using it if you wanted to. Just put it in the do-it-yourself thing.
Funny
Yeah.
thing is, I'm ridiculously tempted to select mustard because of the event that got me 6 weeks of grounding when my uncle, who was 2 years younger than I, all of my cousins and nephews, we got together. We raided the kitchen, ketchup, mustard, mayo, everything we got that could go into our hair or under our faces. Huge mud fight in the backyard that tracked into the house, all because my Aunt Karen, his older sister, was busily making out with her boyfriend, not paying attention.
I'm sure that's exactly what Whiter meant.
I was the mustard warden.
I had speech and journalism from Jeremiah and English.
Oh, freaking.
We always.
You know, I'm not sure, so I'm gonna
I survived it, then I have 4 health left.
so many possibles. Sassy, you're creative. I don't know what you worry about.
Oh, by the way, at the beginning of my stream today, I started making a D&D character.
I saw that.
Awesome.
I had no idea what I was doing, so I probably did the entire sheet wrong. But I gave it a go.
Brave. Braver than I am. I don't think I would ever make a character on stream. Like, I know the directions I would be pushed in.
You say that, yeah, the key there is on stream because
Yeah.
everybody would be like, oh, we have to go the other way. And by the way, good evening, Miss Sassy. I just want to tell you that the true Southern accent, the accent of the only gentleman, right, from deep Georgia,
Oh, God damn it.
the only place you can go to find a true
Look
Southern
right from the
accent,
roof.
yes, that would be not this.
Oh,
I'm so excited. I told him I needed to hear his southern accent earlier. That was great.
No, I do a much better job.
You need southern drawl.
Ooh, that was a nice draw.
Jesus Christ.
I spent like every summer growing up in Georgia.
And look, y'all don't
Unfortunately.
even understand. I'm from Texas, but my accent spirals out of control when I go places. Like if I go to Georgia, I sound like I'm a native. I can't go to the England because everything rolls over. And I go to California, I come back and I'm just a surfer.
I had issues when I was in Scotland not emulating the Scottish accent. It was hard.
I wouldn't think about it. I did the same thing when I was in Ireland. I wouldn't think about it. They're like, "You trying to make fun of me?" I said, "No, I just can't. I look up and don't know I'm doing it."
Yep. I'm trying to figure out.
I'll have my Texas drawl at some point. I'm getting better. I'm getting more nasal, like Ohioans are.
Your A's are longer, I think.
Is that a good thing? No.
I was trying to figure out why I liked Cell, and I'm not sure why, but I also thought Cell.
Yeah, like a, you know, like you see in the movies, the big windowed box.
Oh, like okay.
Like, you know, I don't know, every movie.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Armor for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. I was thinking like Navy SEAL, but Cell also makes good sense.
That's where you were going with that. Okay.
Yeah. No, I was thinking the ones that make noises on the beach and clap. You know, you can't kill them with bullets.
We're talking about like a sealant.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, okay.
They keep killing themselves.
Okay, I'm okay with Cell, but are we more feeling Tube over Cell?
They definitely are gonna wear some type of armor, Kevlar, most of the time, I guess.
But do you like Tube from Conditioner better?
Go big or go home.
No,
Think
no.
bulletproof
I'm
pumpkin.
healing.
It's like the opposite. That's like one of the vegetables that you should.
One person has constantly fighting against, they disappear and come back
Yeah,
with
but
full
think
health.
about how funny it would be if you replaced one with a bulletproof pumpkin, and so you get some redneck out there with a shotgun who can't shoot the pumpkin.
What is it with you guys and rednecks tonight? If you could stop mentioning my family, I'd appreciate it.
Possibly I would be that redneck. Never mind.
Cheeky girl.
I don't know.
This is rough.
I'm leaning towards Cell.
Okay.
Honestly.
Sassy, are you feeling
Follow your heart. I'm not a redneck, my family is. Okay, I think you need to follow your heart less. Your heart does not tell us where to go anymore.
Don't tap it anymore.
Okay, alright, I'll tap. No, I have a weird dichotomy with my family members because my mom's side is pure redneck, and my dad's side is very upper class. So I've got the.
That's the opposite for me.
It's hard to dress for holidays.
My mom is an opposite.
Come on. Come on.
My family's extremely redneck.
kitty cat. Come on. Come on. Come on. You can do it. There you go. Whoa.
That'd be my last word, dude.
You okay?
I'm sorry.
This
This
is
is
good.
a bad
Dude.
clue, but I have no idea.
Come on.
Wait, no, I remember.
Everyone wants to see you. Come on.
I take it back.
Shaky. This is our LG. Come on. There you go.
Oh no, I mean, I was going to do a different clue, but
Yeah, those both make sense. I mean, you think of like docking bays too, but I do like Alien for sure. Mother's my second. Oh right, you're not okay.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's okay. It's okay. It's good.
I was going to put sassy for alien, but mothership.
Okay, so do we want to try and pick up something from conditioner or bulletproof?
We should try.
Yeah, okay, so we had tube, we had seal, and was there something else for bulletproof? Maybe not.
Yeah. I don't know. You pick.
Okay.
I guess those. Yeah. Okay.
Damn it. What on earth could be conditioner?
Mustard.
Mustard.
I always put conditioner in my laundry.
Conditioner? Or softener?
No, I'm just joking.
Oh, okay, good. Thank God. Wow, someone knows her audience. I wouldn't know at all what to do for Stargate. I've barely seen it.
Stargate 3.
Yeah.
Light?
The other two are a little bit of a stretch.
Death? Light and death? Alright, in the vein of what we've been discussing pretty much all night, okay, do you guys have like one mystery or weird thing that you just can't explain, that you've heard stories of or have seen?
Yeah, a little bit.
A type. The locked door murders.
Oh, you name one I don't know.
Are you talking about personal experience?
Yeah, I was looking for personal
no,
or
it's-
like.
No, just like
Type.
in general, you know.
Story. There are several of them throughout history where somebody ends up dead in a locked room, no entrances, no exits, that aren't, can't be covered by the fact that it's locked, right? And yet there is still someone dead in there when no one could get in and then leave the place locked, right? So the locked door murders.
The murders in the
There are
Rue
several of them.
Morgue.
Yeah, murders, and it's one of those where you sit back and go, how could it happen? And it's different in each case. Sometimes it's simple, sometimes not, sometimes it's unsolved.
Interesting.
I've always been a little
Dang it.
obsessed and afraid
Yeah.
of the Bermuda Triangle.
Oh my god.
I thought
You will see.
that kind of like was for you, Scott. Because when we played PUBG, I always said I was the Navy SEAL. I thought you'd like get that.
No, that was my bad too. Sorry, Kel.
Don't you remember like you used to like play? I always want to play on the boats and like play in the
Oh,
water.
that's what we called it, right? Oh,
Yeah.
I forgot. Yeah, it's been years, dude.
I know.
I re-downloaded it.
I got downloaded too. Alex said
Never on, but
Alex said we'll play this weekend,
it.
so we'll see.
Okay, let me know. I have a feeling I will never play it.
Kel, I totally agree with the Bermuda Triangle.
The Bermuda Triangle's fascinating.
Have you ever heard of electronic fog? It's often linked with the triangle.
I've heard of it, yeah. Another thing that for me is a little bit of a mystery, but kind of like not really, is I once attended a church meeting where the pastor was like, he was a geologist too, like he had his master's in geology, but it was a church, and he was like hardcore believed that dragons were dinosaurs and dinosaurs were dragons, and dinosaurs were around up until the Middle Ages when all of them were killed off, and that in some remote parts of the world, like, Godzilla exists.
I've never heard that.
That takes us to the ultimate in mysteries and awesomeness, Loch Ness.
Yes, the leftover remnant of the dinosaurs.
See, he
I think
described Loch Ness.
Are we still missing one from Conditioner?
Yeah, we're still missing a conditioner.
A light conditioner?
I was thinking light too, because I have to use a lightning conditioner myself, because I'm not actually blonde. That's the only thing I could think. Fuck!
Light was probably for Light was probably for Stargate. And I was looking at that and I was thinking I should have clicked that one.
Scott, I thought we agreed.
Have you guys, so something me and my stepdad did. My stepdad was like a super Alaska mountain man, could build a cabin with his bare hands type guy. We would go gold mining on the weekends, and we would do dowsing. You guys heard of dowsing?
Yes! Someone came and pinpointed our well location through dowsing.
Yeah, so we would do that to find gold.
Wait, is it like the stick thing?
Yeah.
Or you can also use a pendulum over a map.
Dowsing
or you
for
can
gold?
ask it. Yeah, you can. Also
I've never heard of that.
You can also ask it yes or no questions, which is kind of freaky.
Now I've been
pendulum?
there when a water witch did the
Yeah.
dowsing
We,
for water, and they found our well. And
Yeah.
It weirdly works. It's kind of scary. It makes no sense. Like,
I didn't care. He got me a really good well out.
We're almost done.
yeah, it weirdly works.
Yeah, it's crazy.
My stepdad, tying into an earlier conversation, we used to gold mine at this creek called Smith Creek, and one time he was on the map looking for gold or whatever, and then he asked the pendulum where Smith was buried, because we had found his cabin. The guy the creek was named after. And then there was like a boom, shaking, and like the power went out, and he like got the fuck out of there. But for years, we were like kind of low key haunted. Like shit in the garage would be swinging wildly. Nobody was in there. It was like.
Wow.
At the creek one time, my mom saw this guy up the creek, and when my stepdad got there, she's like, "Who else is here?" He's like, "Nobody. There's no vehicles anywhere." And like we were in the middle of nowhere, like so. It was.
See, that's some pretty cool shit. Also
It was
pretty
freaking-
freaky.
That's interesting.
He did eventually. He told me he like asked Smith to go away and whatever, and he stopped. Apparently, but
one of my best friends when we were growing up, we would go visit his grandma's farm in Oklahoma, and she swore up and down that place was haunted, and that it was haunted by um, the guy she threw over for his grandfather, and
Damn.
that was how his granddad died and everything else. And one time while we were there, we heard 4 loud bangs, and she had put 4 bullets through the back door into something. So, I mean, we come swarming downstairs like, what the hell? And she's like, get back in bed. Woman with a gun, we went right back to bed. Well, okay, next morning, she's telling us all this, that she had shot the ghost. And we're like, yeah, right, whatever. And we all called her Gran. But we go out in the back because we're expecting, based on how tall she is and where the bullet holes are and everything.
Oh my god, it's classier sauce. Oh my god, it's classier sauce. How are you doing? Thank you for subbing.
They were going to hit the ground. That was it.
We're swapping ghost stories in our last game of Codenames. We're about to finish, unfortunately.
And we're like, what the fuck? Which point we all stopped making fun of Gran.
My house was haunted when I was growing up.
Man, am I the only person who's never had a haunted fucking house?
Growing up, and one time I was in the living room,
Dang it.
playing.
Never had a haunted house.
I was like,
Oh my god, we have a
Your mom has a picture of an angel in your house.
and
You can do it.
Or something.
Go
my
ahead,
mom
Kel.
was just in her room asleep, and I mean, I knew she was asleep. She was like, "Don't bother me. Just go in the living room and play with your toys." So that's what I was doing. Well, I had lost one of my
It's not. I mean, okay, it could be scary, I guess, if you're,
and I woke up, and this shoe.
I mean, nothing scary has happened so far. It's.
From like
This is the scariest one.
which my mom's room was on the opposite side of the house.
I think angels
and
are
she was
scary.
blind anyway, so she couldn't just like chuck it at me. This thing was like a baseball
They're basically
thrown
just
at me,
death
and
machine.
it just barely missed my head.
Serious.
And it was the shoe I'd been looking for months. And we had
wow.
a bunch
Yeah.
of crazy stuff like that happen. Like
Wow.
we would put on a load of laundry before we left the house.
They're not like scary ghost stories. They're like real life ghost stories, which aren't actually scary.
Would be scattered all over the floor between like the living room and the laundry room, and the washer would still be going.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's nope. Sorry.
Yeah,
Nope.
yeah.
Gonna go with nope.
And we would be
I
sitting out
like
in the
my
living room,
freaking in the movies.
and
Right?
we had a locked cabinet that we didn't have the lock to. It was my great grandmother's cabinet, and she kept all her little knickknacks in there. And we didn't have the key for it anymore. And every once in a while, we'd be sitting in the living room, and it would just open, just all random, and just, the door would just and just open. And
Wow.
after a while, we got tired of it. And we were like, "Grandma, stop playing with your knickknacks," and we just go over and close the door. But yeah, as soon as we closed it, we couldn't open it again because it was locked.
Man, I have never had anything odd ever my entire freaking life happen. You guys are a freaking wealth of information. Look at this.
Oh, I've heard
No,
demons. I have seen people possessed before. Like, don't ask for that shit.
My ex step family in Georgia, like fucking like redneck Georgia. On their farm was this house. Used to be, I forget who lived in there. And apparently they think it was like an Indian burial ground or something. Because this house was like haunted as fuck. And
Okay. Have a good night, Saz.
like non-human things in there, like little creatures or something. Like this dude. Like, if we're talking like hardcore Republican redneck, he said he was sleeping in that room with a shotgun in his hand. Like, he was that terrified.
In Georgia, there's a place you can go and stay where I can't remember the name.
Oh, I'm sorry. You said you're gone.
And I may be misremembering.
Estoy.
Maybe in Tennessee, where
I'm
have reports consistent.
Asustada. I never learned anything like Asustada. Asustada. You said you're gone. I forgot that we had Spanish lessons.
Across the yard, daytime, nighttime.
Ooh.
And then just they just.
Oh, scared.
And people are like, no.
Well, yeah, Kel has some like crazy stuff.
No footprints. Right.
Oh my god.
What happened?
Is it this
No.
easy?
Baywatch. Oh my God, could it be?
This easy?
That would be amazing.
If it is, that's awesome. Do it.
Fuck! Spaz, why did you do it?
Oh!
Hey.
Hey, Lighter. Across the street from the Mothman Museum, there's a haunted hotel.
Of course there is.
Y'all should go and stay in there.
We went.
Kel,
me and my
I want to tell you a
cousin-
little secret about Southern Ohio. Every town has haunted whatever.
That just means Ohio is weird, not that it's not real.
Like all of Ohio itself was built on a giant Indian burial ground.
Yeah, like that podcast I was telling you guys about, they frequently talk about how Ohio is home to some of the weirdest crap ever.
Louisiana's a lot like that too.
Okay, you get down.
Even though I suck.
So okay, real quick. Is there not a conditioned smell for like pumpkin? Like shampoo's pumpkin smell or whatever?
I don't think there's a pumpkin spice conditioner. What the shit?
Well,
But
I used to
it's
say
like one out of a
right?
thousand.
How is it watch?
Because of the Charlie Brown thing, I was also stricken that. Like the Charlie Brown, like he's
Oh, the
looking for the.
great pumpkin.
Yeah.
Wow.
I never watched that.
I'm out, guys.
Yeah, I promised my husband that was LG. We're getting off. Calm down.
All right, guys.
Lots of fun.
Weird
Kel,
ones.
you did fantastic.
Thank you. Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Good night. Don't
It
let me
was.
you all.
Good night.
You guys
Good
all
night.
have a great night. I think Woman in Black wins. Yeah, we're gonna go watch the ghost story.
All right.
Take
See
care,
you.
everybody.
See you guys.
Net. All right. So my husband said there's some weird sounds outside. We might have a bear or elk or fox or raccoon or birds outside. According to my about page, if you see a bear come in and attack me, please alert my mods, as they are the only ones. Well, one of them has my address, so it's close to knowing my real name. So, in the meanwhile, we gotta find somebody to raid. Oh, speaking of, let me turn on the raid music with my stream deck. Okay. Little loud. Turn it down a smidge. There we go. All right. Okay. Who are we gonna raid? Is Kel getting off for the night? But she's still streaming. If she's still streaming, we could raid her. But I think she's probably getting off. Hey, we have bears out here. Don't look at me like that. Alright. Okay, so Kel is raiding. Now, the trick is to either make sure we raid the same person as Kel is raiding, or find someone else to raid. I'm gonna creep on Kel and see who she raids. I'm trying to figure out who we have in the same group. Hey now! Okay, it's not my fault that we're raiding somebody. Well, it is, but like, you don't have to be all stabby about it. Okay, we're gonna raid Mystic Gemini. I haven't raided her in a little bit, and she's playing a creepy game, and we were just talking about creepy stuff. So this feels right. You just come in here and like, do every command you can possibly think of. I know that's what you do. she is playing Resident Evil. Sounds like fun. Not something I'll ever play, but we can go raid her. Okay. Remains to be seen whether I'll be on next Wednesday or not. If I'm not on Wednesday, I'll be on Tuesday, so keep an eye on the Discord for the announcements. But I hope everybody has a good weekend, and all that other jazz. We will see you sometime next week at some point, for sure. So, have a good night.